You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's Braylon Edwards here with the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports. Excited to be with you here on this beautiful Tuesday. A lot to talk about today. Two guests. So we're going to be rapid fire, rocking and rolling, man. Jason Razniak will join us at 2:20, give or take. Shout out to the Razmania event that he has going on. We'll get news on that. And then at 2:45, we'll have in Ryan LaFontaine of LaFontaine Automotive, see what they have cooking. Talk to him as well as Tim Stein. But before we get there, we will say hello to my co-host, Anson Wells. Anson, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I wore green and white, so you didn't have to.
You know what's great? You wore green and white, and I had an inkling.
Oh, they're so ugly.
I had a feeling.
Oh, they're so
I
ugly.
had a feeling that you was going to be on the green and white wave today.
Yeah.
I had a feeling you was going to be on that go green, go white BS, so I came in with the new team issue Vapor Romero.
Superfly.
100%. So, you know, it's probably that undershirt right there you got going on, big guy. Anyway, we say what's up to Sweet Patata Cam as well as Justin and the lad. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
What's up, B? Doing wonderful today on one of these another limited edition Pure Michigan kind of day. Can't wait to hit the aisle.
Too cold for you?
It is getting chilly for me, yeah.
But I Cam love Belle Isle, boy.
Texas
I will
Cam.
resist wearing socks until as long as I can tolerate.
Do you even know who Belle Isle was named after?
I don't know.
Belle Isle was
Beauty and
named.
the Beast?
Belle Isle was named after Bella. I can't think of her last name. She was the daughter of one of the higher ups at Ford in the very, very, very beginning. So talking about like the Model T 1906
Okay.
Ford family. So I don't know his name, but I know he was one of the higher ups execs at Ford, and her name was Bella, whatever his last
The
name.
largest city park in the country.
Did know that 1,000%.
Dwarfs
That's my spot.
Central Park.
That's my spot.
Definitely does.
Not
Look,
just mine.
we don't have a ton of time to fool around today, but there's something that I want everybody to get a chance to check out today. Check out the new documentary that just came out on Netflix today. It's Vince Young's documentary. Now, Vince Young, they're going to take you through his high school life, take you through why he chose to go to Texas, and then take you through his NFL career. But I am so excited to watch this piece. When things come out from my era, I get excited. Especially you're talking about one of the guys that I feel like Michigan birthed in a sense. No, Michigan didn't birth his skills. No, he is not from the state of Michigan. No, he didn't go to Michigan. There's no inkling to that. But I feel like his coming out party would have been his junior season, the game that was the Rose Bowl 2005, Michigan number 4, I think we were in the country at the time, Texas number 7 in the country at the time. We're going to watch the doc. Tomorrow we'll be able to come in. We'll be able to talk more about – no, not poor Cam. He won. He won anyway.
I was yet to be
He won either way. It was UT
You
or
were not a Longhorn fan
I
then?
became a Longhorn fan
'Cause of that?
2012. No.
Okay.
When I
That
moved to
hurts,
Austin.
huh?
Yeah,
So in that
it
case-
definitely hurt.
It did hurt.
But B, this moment right here, this photo, this moment to me is the greatest moment in modern college football. It was so epic.
Yes.
And then that photo, to me, there's no moment in college football that stands out more. Now, I know I don't have like a Spartan chip or anything, but man, what a time.
Yeah, no, realistically, getting back to the story that I was telling, man, you go into this game. It was a lot riding on this game, and it's super interesting kind of how it took place. Now, we'll watch the documentary tomorrow. We'll break it down in a segment. We'll look at his life. We'll look at the Tennessee Titans and what that was, he and Jeff Fisher. But just this game. Coming to this game, I got to do you a breakdown. I got to do the story justice. Now, my roommate in my junior and senior year was from Texas. He was from Madisonville, Texas. Shout out to David Underwood, a.k.a. Hiroff. If you know, you know. Dave came in as a freshman out of Madisonville, Texas, which is 40 minutes outside of Houston, which is 5 minutes from Madison, which is where Vince Young went to high school. All he talked about for 3 years, hey, dog, IFO, dog, it's this Vince Carter, man. I'm trying to tell you, dog, he going to change college football. I said, man, shut up. Why are you talking about this guy? Hey, dog, hey, fool, he's serious, man. He's 6'5", run 4'3". I mean, he can do all the things. He sound like Boobie's dad in Friday Night Lights, or Boobie's uncle, excuse me. So he does everything. He can even get the water. So he's telling us about Vince Young, Slowly but surely, you start to hear murmurs out of Austin in his sophomore year. Then his junior year, has a big game against Oklahoma, has a big game against Oklahoma State, starting to see. And now we're on a collision course to play Texas in the Rose Bowl. The Home Depot Awards are in December. Now, that's when everybody gets the Bolitnikovs, the Ray Guy Awards, the Lou Groza Awards, the Bednair. These are where these are where you get the awards. It's in Florida. You had the chance to get cool with Derek Johnson, linebacker that played for the Kansas City Chiefs for 15 years, and Cedric Benson, running back, who's the best running back in the country that year, 1,968 yards he had in 2004. Rest in peace. We got super cool, 100%. I see if you know, you know. We got super cool. Me, Marlon Jackson, we got cool with Cedric Benson. We hung out in Orlando. I mean, we hung out at the Disney After Dark and all those kind of things, and all the other celebs. Matt Leinart was out there. Reggie Bush was out there. Adrian
Disney
Peterson.
After Dark sounds super nefarious, dude.
You're right. And
really nefarious.
At 43, like, you know, you still may catch me there with my.
We didn't know back then, though.
100%.
We didn't know back then.
So we got cool with the guys in Texas that we're about to see. Vince Young wasn't there. Vince Young was still a junior. They didn't give him. I think Alex Smith would have made it that year. Matt Leinart would have made it that year. Jason White would have made it again that year. Fast forward, the maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 days before we played them in the Rose Bowl, Cedric Benson and them hit us up. Our hotel's the same strip, not too far. He hits me and Marlon. Hey man, why don't you guys come to the hotel, say what's up? Cool. We made friends with them. They were cool dudes. We was rocking and rolling with them. We get to the hotel. Everybody's cool. Everybody's showing a level of love. What's up? How you doing? Hey, man, fan of your game. You know, all these things because you have watched them on ESPN. You have watched their highlights. So you are knowing the guys. We get to Vince Young, and Vince Young says to Cedric Benson, and hey, why you got them in here?
Hell yes!
Hey, why you got them in here?
Yes!
That's our enemy.
Yes!
Like, why you got them in here?
I love that.
You know, me and Marlon was like, cool, like we get it, and no big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Stayed
and kicked it with Cedric for a minute, and then we bounced.
Stanley liked that too, didn't he?
We roll out. We get to the game, and I just had that in the back of my head. I was watching him. He was no holds barred. He was no jokes. He was no smile.
I love that.
Like he legitimately was about business that day, and it showed. I don't understand to this day why our defensive coordinator had the right game plan for first and second down to Vince Young, one of the most dynamic athletes that college sports has ever seen. Legitimately, we spied him, and we played zone. Make him pass to beat us. We knocked out Cedric Benson in the first quarter. No Cedric Benson, who had 1,900 yards that year. We're like, we're good. First down, zone, spy. Second down, zone, spy. And then third down, all single game, the defensive coordinator decides that he wants to all-out blitz Vince Young. All-out blitz. With that being said, the final score, 38-37. They win on the last-second field goal by Dusty Mangum, which should have been blocked. I digress.
So beautiful.
Yes, I'm still hurt. We lose by 1. Vince Young had 198 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. And majority of that was on third down when our defensive coordinator decided to send the house and blitz. Why to this day, I still have no clue. I still have not got answers. I guess you can say it still bothers me. But we saw in that.
I guess you could say it.
We saw in that moment, though, what a special talent he was going to be. And this was just the coming out part. I think he had like 200 passing yards, and 198 rushing, 3 touchdowns. This was the precursor to the following season, which, you know, you can argue that he should have won the Heisman over Reggie Bush. But that Reggie Bush winning the Heisman, once again, it pissed Vince Young off. When you tell that man that he can't be something or they shouldn't be something, you saw a different level of competition. You saw a different level of skill and athleticism. He was one of the most electrifying players that I've ever seen, and I had to see it first effing hand.
Hey, I got a little bit
so I'm excited for the doc tonight. Truly am.
I got a little bit of sweet and sour. The sweet first.
Oh, don't hate, though. I did have 3 touchdowns in that game.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Rose Bell record now shared with myself.
Speaking of which,
Jackson Smith and
we have both Broder and Neil pushing for your induction into the College Football Hall of Fame. Shout out Michael Wary with our first super chat. Talking about Neil propping you up. The sweet for me was hearing that from your point of view, because boy was I cheering for Texas that day. The sour is we've lost a legend. The news has just come in that Dolly Parton has passed at the age of 80.
Oh, speaking of Texas.
Yeah. Bring it full circle there.
Damn. Rest in peace.
No doubt about it.
Always loved her spirit. I always loved her spirit.
No doubt about it.
Tough transition. Warn me next time.
That they've been on it in the chat and they've been mad that we didn't do it, but you can't interrupt a great story like that. We were getting there. But yeah, man, she was great. I mean, when I grew up, man, like she was in her hot era, and Dolly Parton was an icon, and she still is one. Like her and Betty White, man, those are two old ladies. I was pretty sad to hear the news.
Yeah, rest in peace to Dolly Parton. Just thinking about that Vince Young, how cold he was, man. That's why I'm excited to watch the doc, and we'll come back and we'll talk more about it. Obviously, Lions jersey drop.
Have to watch that
so
tonight.
I'm excited. Yeah, everybody watch it. This is a homework assignment.
That's right, P-Lad. You watch it. I know you hate football.
Okay, this is an assignment for the chat as well. You watch, so tomorrow when we come back, we have conversation. I want you guys to have questions because tomorrow I'm going to be full of a lot of questions. But the thing that I'm most excited for to watch is it's a different era. When you look at what Vince Young was back then as a black quarterback, they were drafting black quarterbacks and they were trying to get them to fit into a mold that existed, which was a pocket passer, which was be cerebral, which is standard.
Lamar changed that.
100%. And this is it. If you can't fit into this, then you can't have success. Nowadays, you get offensive coordinators meeting these players where they were. Like I drafted a Jalen Hurts. I drafted a Lamar Jackson. I drafted a CJ Stroud. I drafted a Jordan Love. I understand what comes with that. Well, let me help you with your system and maybe add a couple nuances and trinkets. So that part, I wish Vince could have gotten drafted in this era, not that.
And that's, I mean, it sounds like you think that he would have done well if he had a team that crafted their squad to suit his talents.
1,000%. Not, hey, look, we drafted you we drafted you in the first round, save our franchise. No, we'll work with you. We'll help you out. We know what you need, and it's, you have all the pieces.
Heartbreaking failure at the NFL level.
Yep, 100%. Speaking of heartbreaking failure at the NFL level, did you see the Lions' new jerseys? Did you see the Lions' new alternate jerseys?
That's a segue.
It was perfect. Before we put them up on the screen, were you disappointed? Is it on par? Because for me, I don't think the Lions have missed a ton in the last 5 years. At them again. We have the pictures.
I looked at it for a while. I'm hearing that people think that they look like the Panthers. I think they're kind of cool.
Close enough.
Yeah, I guess
Michigan
they do.
Panthers.
Like, whoa. I'll go around the room before I say anything. You think they're cool?
No.
Like,
no.
Funny story.
I'm looking closer at him.
I'm
looking at him closer. Listen, if they leave the Panthers' wings off the shoulders, then they're kind of sick.
First of all,
kinda,
but they didn't do that. This is the jersey we have.
Hold on, let me read what it says for why they put this.
That's the Lions' eye, right? Isn't that what they're saying?
All right,
I don't see it.
Let me read this to you. This is why they put the things on the sleeves. All right. Honolulu blue meets black to mimic the intense gaze of a lion as it locks into its prey with unwavering focus, adding a adding a fierce edge.
Fierce. Rawr. Come on.
Clap that.
Like the Lions have not missed with the Lions with the alternate jersey, with the exception of the gray pajamas, as Maz calls them. Shout out to Maz, man. We have more on that coming for you later. But with the exception of the gray pajamas, the Lions, the all white was decent. I like the ones that they did last year with the black, the light blue helmets. Like everything they've done has been a level of cool or dope. This right here is just a complete miss. Like when I saw it in the chat, it reminded me of the Carolina Panthers, specifically 2003.
So we've got like the blueberries. Are these the white gays?
All right, relax.
What? You said it was the Lions gays. I said nothing wrong.
I mean like the gays, like
Freud,
with
a Z,
Freud
dude,
talked
with
about.
a Z.
Right. Like Sigmund Freud talked about.
Come
the
on,
male gaze,
where are you at,
you
Justin?
Justin, it's on you, bro. Because shout out.
He won't even put the camera on.
Justin, put the camera on yourself though, because I know the chat would appreciate this shirt. Shout out to Justin rocking some sick vintage Viper drip from the T-shirt to the hat. Now, see, this right here is something I can get behind. This is fire. Shout out to the
matching
Vipers.
hat too.
Come on, baby. See, I can't tell what kind of, if that's like a cream or a gray. Like, I just don't think I have a good enough grasp of the jersey. I do think
they're white.
It's very Panthers-esque. I don't think it's white. I'm dead ass. I don't think it's white. I think it's either a cream or a gray, and we'll only know until we actually see them. But I don't know. I'm not ready to
the creamy gaze.
Sell them short. Dude, you gotta stop. Even if it's not what you mean, you gotta stop.
This is not the fantasy jersey.
To your point, there's a lot of times where you see some clothes or you see an item of clothing, which this is, and you see it in person, it looks different. It hits different. But just looking through TV, looking through the lens, looking through digital, I think it's a miss. I think it looks like a jersey on a college team that I'd be like, I'm probably not going that game.
It was close, but they missed. Just a bit outside.
I don't think it's close.
I'm telling you, if you take the gaze out of it,
you guys, right? Okay, check this out. Here are 3 alternate jerseys that I rock with from Detroit professional sports history. Throw those 3 jerseys up there if you have them. Be led. I sent them in the chat. Here you go. The Detroit Red Wings winter classics, 100%.
Of all time.
Same. So I had to put those on there. Everybody in agreement. This is fire. This is dope. I don't even think I had to ask that question.
They're cool.
Did you get a chance to actually go to one of those games, Justin?
Yes, I went to the actual game, and then I went to also the alumni game and the college games at Comerica Park.
I knew you were. That's why I had to ask that question. So I put this in thinking about you, but also this is freaking effing insane. Love these jerseys. Number 2, I had to put Big Daddy up there, if you will. Shout out to Cecil Fielder, who actually went into the Michigan Hall of Fame with a couple years back. Big Daddy was as cool as ever that night. But these blues, I like these a lot because it kind of had a Chicago White Sox feel. I like those White Sox jerseys too, but this was blue, had the Detroit, and had the Tiger coming through the D. I was a big fan of these in the mid-'90s because this is also right when I moved back to Detroit from Atlanta. So a big fan of Cecil. Big fan of those. And then last for me, a sneaker, if you will. I like this. When the Lions came out with the black with the blue helmets,
they're cool.
A lot of people didn't like the black because they thought 0-16. This is what happened last time. I beg to differ. That black on black with that Detroit Lions blue is fire with that blue helmet. So these would be my 3 alternates.
I got 2.
Yeah, let me see what
number
you got.
2, I don't have them for the background.
Talk
here.
about it.
The St. Cecilia green Pistons, and I know it pisses people off because they look like the Celtics. But I was 10 years old. I got a chance to see Isaiah's my mom took me down to St. Cecilia when I was 10, man, and I got to see a game there. So I've always had the love for it, and I think they're a cold jersey. In fact, we got. I'll grab Kate here in a minute and hit in those greens. But then number 1 for me, hands down, no competition. Bring them back, please. Remember when Barry used to run around in those throwbacks, man?
Overrated.
Oh, they're so cold, man. Just a gray helmet, gray pants, and I'm going to beat your ass blue jersey, man. Oh, they were so hard.
Those jerseys. That was right on time. I appreciate that because that's how I feel. I never liked those gray and blues. 1, they were way too simple. 2, the jerseys was baggy as hell. Literally by the first quarter, everybody's jersey was untucked.
You were a
jersey
Lions
was
fan
coming.
then, though.
Yeah, but I was a fan of Lions players though. So I still watch every single Lions
Barry
game.
looks so cold in those.
That's because Barry's the biggest running back of all
He
time.
looks great in everything.
Exactly, but like that, they were. I don't know. It was just boring and it was plain.
It
I
was
wasn't
black
a fan
and
of
blue.
that.
That's what it was to me.
And the Lions were losing too with it, so it was like not only did I not like them, they also were not winning in them. So it was like it's twofold.
Not a whole lot. Actually, they won more in those uniforms than any other.
Because it was on Thanksgiving?
No, because it was in the 50s.
Okay, I'm talking about when they wore them as OGs. What about you, young Satawa? What you got? What do you like as it relates to Detroit throwbacks or alternate?
See, it sucks because one of my favorites of all time, just got absolutely ruined. It was the Centennial jersey last year for the Wings. That thing was tough as nails, and they absolutely ruined it with having a terrible season. I'm going to go with the 2008, 2009, I forget the exact year, when the Wings went and played in Wrigley against the Chicago Blackhawks, and they had the big English D on the front. I like that jersey a lot. And then, I'm not going to lie, the new Tigers orange and blue jerseys, both of them, are just so
incredibly
elite.
Hard.
I am so glad that they finally decided that they were going to go with a really cool alternate jersey.
Thanks.
And they both are tough as nails.
I agree. No doubt about it.
Any from you, Bilal?
Best alternate uniforms. I did like the classic Lions. There's no doubt about that. I think what we wear on Thanksgiving is always a W. Obviously, the all-black Lions jersey is a favorite of mine. I actually do like the new Navy Detroit Tigers alternates as well. Besides that, I mean, you kind of hit it on the head. I do like the orange ones as well. I also do think the Tigers have like the most aesthetically, visually pleasing jerseys in the MLB. Like the plain white with the blue stripes, like that is just by far and away the cleanest looking jersey in the MLB. Unbiased opinion. If I was a Minnesota Twins fan, and they have some pretty cool uniforms too, I would think the same thing. It's like the simplicity and the classic look looks amazing. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Minnesota Twins need to go back to the Kirby Puckets. Like those were flawless.
Hey, they got their Navy uniforms with the red big old twins on the chest. I think those are sweet. Those are sweet.
I rock with that.
This ain't Minnesota media, baby.
This is not, as we're still trying to kill time waiting for Jason Razniak. Shout out to Joey. But Lions jersey so far, I think it's a miss. But what was something else they did? Actually, I take that back. There was one other miss by the Lions in the last 2 years. Was it the helmet? And where they were trying to – the blue helmet that they did, but they were trying to match up like the old schools in 1950, and they put like
what about the dirty gray uniform?
The gray uniform?
Yeah, I didn't like that helmet.
No.
I didn't
the
like
whole
that.
thing.
Yeah, that was like.
That reminded me of like the late '80s, early '90s gray Tigers jersey.
Because they tried to do like a cool
trash
tease when they dropped it. Then they like dropped the helmet on top of the roof across from Ford Field, like with a Mustang in the background or something like that.
You know, I got a funny story. It's actually the original Color Rush jersey.
I love
that
how like nobody knew what I was
debut.
talking about, and then he just started the story.
I know what you're talking about, B.
He was like, "Hell with that. Let me tell you the story."
I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say
B-Lab.
it's kind of similar. It's
I appreciate
like
that.
Back in 2015 when the NFL first dropped those Color Rush uniforms, the Lions Color Rush uniform was all black, and it was with the old style, like the Calvin Stafford era. It was that design, but it was all black, but with the silver helmet, and we were so ass we never wore them.
That really has
I'm
an
gonna do you
effect
like
on
you did. I'm gonna do you like you did me. I'm ignoring. No, I know what you. But it goes back to that 0-16. One, they were ass, and then two, when they wore the original ones, they were what they were. So they weren't trying to relive that energy, if you will.
Steve Wild's new Lions uniforms are the greatest of all time. Now, Steve, are you talking about the creamy gaze, or are you talking about the ones that they'll be playing most of the year this year?
Was you talking about like last year, how they redid the uniform in like the 90s image? Because last year uniforms was dope. I like the numbers. I like the black. I like the outlining. It reminded you of like the Chris Spillman days, if you will. I didn't have a problem with those. This what this is.
The new Lions Panthers uniform is atrocious.
Facts.
He also doesn't like the Orange Tigers jerseys. And I'm going to agree with the second part. We're not the Orioles. Whenever I see those jerseys, I'm like, Baltimore, what? The Baltimore Tigers? What are we doing? Dante 151.
You want to know if a jersey is like an ugly jersey or not a dope jersey? It's like when someone gives it to you, like, what is your response? If somebody gives it to you at free, or if you were to come to the studio, or if you would be at a festival and they were passing out jerseys, somebody handed me one of those, I'd be like, I don't know about that. You know what? I'll give it to my nephew. Like, I'll accept the gift and give it to my nephew. That's when you know you got an ugly uniform. I'm just saying I don't like it. Like, why are you trying to compliment? Like, why are you trying to put yourself in a situation to look like a team that you are that you are head and shoulders above? Like, there's no reason to try to look like the Carolina Panthers. I know we picked up 2 of their players in the offseason, but damn.
You would feel like in today's NFL too, especially with Nike and how creative they can actually get, you would think they would find a niche that was, you know, somewhat of our own instead of basically literally mimicking the exact jersey that they wear.
I think that's the biggest thing for me, and we'll take a quick commercial break because we do have our first guest in studio who's ready to tell us about the Razmania this weekend. That is Jason Razniak. But before we go, are we overreacting on the uniforms? Do we need to see them in person, or you kind of know where you're at? It's
Well, from what I'm hearing, it depends on whether we win in them.
All right.
True. I guess that's true. I
mean,
oh
my God.
Okay. You guys are no fun.
I'm sorry calling you Asian.
I don't like them.
I don't like them either.
Creamy gays are low on my list.
You gotta start calling me Hutch.
I'm start calling you Hutch with the political.
You're gonna get us canceled.
Hey, only two of these super chats so far, guys. This is going out today. We're spinning the wheel later. Super chat, smash the like button, and share the stream, guys, please.
I tell you what, if you guys don't turn up for the super chats and turn up for Anson as it relates to the jersey, I'll swap this jersey out, one of them ugly-ass new jerseys. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if you really like it then. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Jason Rasniak. But let me tell you a little bit about Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential, mental and physical, and they understand that. That's why there's no judgment there. They're not judging you. They just want you to come in, get yourself a good workout, and feel good about yourself, and then go out and do what you have to do on your day-to-day. There's no judgment. There's clean locker rooms, and there's even trainers on staff and clean equipment. There's a reason why there are 60-plus gyms here in this great state and 27 around the world. It's because people get it. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Jahmyr Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
Test.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. One's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Guys, talking about All Day IPA. You're going to make a choice this weekend. You're going to be in front of the freezer. Don't choose beer. You want the king of the IPA category for the last 15 years because it's never bitter. It's always refreshing and crisp, and that 4.7% alcohol by volume, it's going to pace you throughout the day. So make the choice easy. Make it Founders All Day IPA. But when you make that choice, make sure you drink it responsibly. And, guys, my man can see now. He's so happy he did it. Darren McCarty went to the Yaldo Eye Center for LASIK.
He did have his eyes open a little bit more when we saw him at the meeting yesterday.
He did.
I will agree. He had better energy about him.
He's so happy.
When you can see it, it makes a difference.
Yeah, and he saved thousands because this $1,999 per eye, regardless of prescription deal that we've crafted with our friends at Yaldo, it's thousands off the competition. But again, I say it every time, there is no competition in the state of Michigan when it comes to LASIK. An 8-minute procedure that's painless and leaves the majority of patients seeing 20/20 the very next day. Over 100,000 successful procedures over 30 years. Why would you choose anybody else? Why would you wait? There's the number, 248-553-9800. Give him a call at the Yaldo Eye Center.
Welcome back to the show, Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports. Excited to introduce our first guest, and it is Jason Rasniak. I had a chance to see Rasniak, who this weekend from the 29th and the 30th is doing his Razmania. Now, he'll tell us all about that in a second. But I had a chance to see you this past Saturday, man. It was good to see you.
Yeah, you had a big line. There was the kids wouldn't stop. Yeah,
No. They came, and when they got in line, they just said, "Are you Denard Robinson?" Denard Newsom. So but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of store opening, if you will. But talk about Razmania. You invited me this past Saturday, and now here you are 4 days later.
Yeah, it's just fate. No, so here's what happened. I think going to sporting events, the World Cup, all that stuff is so expensive these days. So to go meet a celebrity, to go meet an athlete is really expensive. And I was like, I don't know, people are asking how my kids meet these athletes. And I'm like, could I buy tickets? And so I thought it was sort of unfair. So we partnered with Boys and Girls Club, Pontiac United, like several different charities. I'm trying to think, there was like 5 charities that 400 kids are coming that don't go to sporting events, and they're going to be able to interact with athletes. The athletes aren't getting paid.
Yeah.
There's events where athletes get paid a lot of money, but the athletes are going to 40-yard dashes. They're not going to run. They'll administer them. 3-point contests. And these kids, like when you're 9 years old and you meet your first celebrity, you meet your first college football player or basketball player.
You remember it forever.
You remember forever. And those experiences are so few and far between. I even see it at Pistons game. Like, yes, it's like we have good teams, so that makes it harder, but it's hard to get access. So I'm like, there has to be a better way. And then athletes can still make money and do different things there, but I'm just like, the celebrity basketball game is what I mentioned. Came up with it like a few days ago because there's a couple serious card collectors who have huge followings, like the Michael Jordan of cards, who are big basketball players. And so I'm like, all right, how do we entertain kids more? So this Razmania Fest was born, and we expect to like maybe 3,000 to 6,000 people over 2 days.
Victor Wembanyama, I know, is a huge Star Wars card guy. There's a lot of clips of him out buying big-time cards, and you're seeing more and more people enter that space. I'm looking at this here, and you guys know I love my collectibles.
This is right. Yeah, I was
That's right. I was out at the National Sports Collectors Convention earlier this month.
I was there, National.
Oh, and it's funny. We were talking. Him and I go back to the Pistons, like the greatness era of 04.
100%.
Palace Grill and across the street. But it looks like you're going to have everything there, not just athletes, but you're going to have cards, buying, selling, trading. Pokemon's going to be, I know how big that is because there's a lot of parents that are looking for those events too. I'm sure some of you watching. But this is awesome, and I love that you're doing it in Yaktown, Pontiac, a place that's near and dear to me.
Yeah, it's not easy. So these signs, I'm out there putting them in the corners of streets. Police are taking them down. I finally figured out who was taking them down. In Bloomfield, they have very big restrictions. Other cities were
Friday through Sunday only.
Yeah, and you have to have a white background, I just learned. That's what the police said. Yeah, I love yellow.
They look at them as eyesores, if you will.
Yeah, they whatever. So the idea is that they stand out, but we're having speakers. So Jake Bates, Jack Fox, Hogan Hatton, they're doing a special teams one, how teamwork is so important to special teams. Jared Goff is doing a fireside about his upbringing. The idea is, how do you leave kids inspired for the school year, but for the rest of their lives? Like, Jared Goff could be on stage and you could ask him, how do you like the new OC, the new offense? But that doesn't
stay with you. Like that message from that disappears. Like, who's the new OC? It doesn't matter what OC is long term. It doesn't matter about what kind of car you drive now. It doesn't matter. Those lessons that you're talking about, dealing with adversity, dealing with family, overcoming things, these are lessons that in the membrane, they stay there. I remember going to Jerome Bettis camp back in the day when I was a young kid. I was 12 years old. Speaking of 95, I was going in 95, man, and the guys that he would bring, he would sit there, I would hang on every single word, because there are going to be kids that are going to be there just to have fun, that are not going to pay attention, and there are going to be kids that listen and hang on those messages, and those young men and women are going to be the future. So I appreciate all that you're doing.
John Sally, Chuck Nevitt, Joe Dumars,
John Sally,
Vinny Johnson.
Chuck, all three of those guys are fantastic human beings you're talking about.
I used to shovel John Sally snow.
No, you didn't.
I did, in Palmer Woods.
Are you serious?
Story, actually.
It's a funny story.
Come on
Oh,
now.
my God. That's crazy. You really did?
100%.
Is that how you have these freaking things?
You have to tell the story. You can't get out of this story right now.
Not even called muscles, just things. They're so massive.
Legitimately, yeah. So my father played for the Lions, played for the Oilers. He knew John Sally. However, I did not. I used to walk around in Palmer Woods, Sherwood Forest, and I go door to door, knocking to shovel snow to make money. So I'd start in Sherwood Forest. All the houses, $15, $10, some you get $20. But then once you get tired, you want that big score. The big score is Palmer Woods. So I walked over to Palmer Woods. I walked over to Spider's house. He had the huge house, which is one of the largest houses in the Wayne County, and also too had the coat, what you call it, the horseshoe driveway. So I walk up to him, and I said, hey, look. He said, yeah, just shovel and just knock on the door after. So in my mind, I'm thinking this is a 50 spot. I'm thinking this is a 100 spot. Like, this house is huge. He also had a backyard with a backyard driveway. It took me 2 hours to shovel this house. Knocked on the door, gave me a 20, said appreciate it, and closed the door. So then I proceeded to go home, tell my mom, who also knows John Sally because of my father. I told my dad, etc. Went back to the house after a phone call was made. John slipped me 100 and told me, don't ever come to shovel my snow again. But he also came to my 25th birthday party, so it is a full circle moment.
Sounds great, man.
But yeah, Sal's the best.
Sal's the best. Yeah. And what I was gonna say is, like, these events, we're not just doing like the speakers. We're also doing like activations. So pitching contests, 3-point, and the athletes are going to do it too. And then they can. I was trying to give the athletes like a $10,000, but we'll see about that, and we'll figure that out. But the part that I wanted to allude to is like we have these. If you're into cards, Pokemon, sports cards, there's about 300 tables of them, and about 20% of them are coming from out of state.
You got One Piece coming?
I don't know what One Piece is. I'm
a big One Piece collector.
Oh, One Piece, the type. Yes. My dog. There's a lot less of those.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's big.
And
credibility almost went out the window.
I know.
Almost.
I said it kind of quick.
Yeah, but what's it called? Who do we just got? Dash Live. Last night on his Whatnot, he had 3,000 people live. He's the number 1 or number 2 Whatnotter.
Dash Live's huge.
He just committed to come to the event yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's coming.
Man, Dash Live, this guy is one of the biggest on the app.
It's insane.
We'll be bringing you Whatnot soon enough. But
and I think Woodward will be at part of the event doing some stuff.
Yep.
I think Danny Rogers, you guys know Danny?
I do.
She's playing in the game.
Okay.
And
cool.
she played basketball, I guess, high school, but then she tore an Achilles, and that was it for her. Megan Campbell, Jack Campbell's wife. Do you guys know this? This is a good trivia. You just gave us a good one. Jack Campbell's wife, plays for the Lions, is Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell played for Iowa. Do you know who replaced Megan Campbell in Iowa?
Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
well, listen,
It's the only woman I know from Iowa, so I took a shot.
All right,
we're getting up against the break real
Okay.
quick, though. I got to throw it to you in the corner because that's where you sit at the Lions games. And if you have this feeling that you've seen this guy, you have before, because it's you and your kids.
It's my kids. And the kids are actually the ones who've worked on Razmania. My daughter's 9. She's been making cold calls. And my son, now he's given up on them for the last week. But
free labor, baby.
They were making cold
Get out
calls.
here and do something.
Yeah, so exactly.
Okay.
But so RazmaniaFest.com.
Give us the where they can find you online, where it's actually at, and give us the times this week.
Okay, so it's from 10 to 5 both days. Sundays 9 to 5. 10 to 11 is VIP, so you get in before everyone else. 11 to 5 is everyone else, and then Sunday is an hour earlier. The thing I wanted to say is the tickets we're keeping everything super cheap. We could charge more to have the talent that's going to be there. The tickets are like $10, but the whole thing is most people just go on site and buy tickets, but you shouldn't do that. You should actually go online and get tickets, because we spent like $5,000 on packs of cards. So anyone that buys tickets online, just because it helps, they automatically get a free Pokemon or a free sports pack, a Prism, like they're nice cards.
Yeah.
So
King of the retail right there.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is we're making nothing on the tickets. Like this event is, I know it's a lot of work, but if we leave,
hobby brings them together.
But
man.
if we leave with 1,000 smiles of kids that didn't have action, didn't meet these players before, meet a Braylon Edwards, and if he shows up,
you gave them that access,
like
man, and the memories.
But they're gonna remember for the rest of life. And
That's
these
right.
guys don't realize, like you and I, who knows? This guy, these guys. It's a game-changing experience.
And for a guy that actually does take the time out for the kids, man,
There's someone in chat who has a table there this weekend.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right, get a table. Razmania Fest. I mean, the tables are cheap too. Like you guys, this is cheap, but I think we'll bring a lot of audience. We hope.
We'll talk, and we'll get even more involved next year.
Anson, I can't believe this is you, man. I want to see the picture of the spiked hair.
The spiked hair with
he was like
he's laid back and down in now.
He was all tough back then. And
Jason, it is absolutely good to see you. We still got to get on the golf course. We still have to get back on that.
We have time. Franklin Hills. Before that.
Say less. Franklin Hills down the street. I might have to bring my +1 over there.
But you're out of town September 5th. That's right. Okay.
I am, but
that's okay.
Next year we will be involved in this, but this year you guys should be involved with this. You see the site, RazmaniaFest.com.
Yep, either one.
And also just it's good to see individuals giving back to the community, bridging things together. I mean, that's what this is. This isn't a moneymaker. This is for the kids. It's for the community. It's also to bring athletes. Giving people a chance to see and be around something that they wouldn't ordinarily get the opportunity to. So, Jason, we appreciate you for
just trying to bring everyone together, and really appreciate you guys having us on. You don't need to do that. And sign up, bid on the Jahmyr Gibbs, or sign up, whatever this is. You know,
see, look at this guy.
Look at Jahmyr Gibbs, best running back in the country. I mean, come on.
There you go.
Super chat.
You heard it here,
man.
You heard it here.
Yeah, sign up, okay?
Jason, we appreciate you. All right, look, we're up against it. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get the next guest in here, and we promise we have some good stuff to talk about in the second hour of the show. Wide receivers rankings came out. I have my list, but also Dan Campbell talking about this defensive line room. Excited to hear him also as it relates to that defensive line room. There's only so many defensive linemen that you can carry through the season. It's about to be time to start putting some of these guys on the chopping block. We'll get more on that in a second. Let's get a message in from Water Hazard.
Yes, sir. I can tell you all about Water Hazard. It's his very first canned vodka cocktail from Founders. It is a vodka-based cocktail at 5% ABV that's citrusy, refreshing, and gluten-free. Get $5 cans at any Art & Jake's location in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But always remember to please drink responsibly.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
The number one mortgage broker in Michigan wants you. We're talking about Mortgage Pros, guys. You were out there with us at the beginning of summer. You saw their employee culture firsthand. You got a chance to meet their owners. This is the type of place you want to work. And they're going to push you through that ceiling that's been over you for so many years. I know you've been thinking about it. So go to mtgopros.com, learn a little bit more, and then make the call. Reach out, 248-416-1361. They're right in Troy. They're close by. They're central, and they are amazing. I got some friends that work there, and they absolutely love the decision that they've made, and I've watched their lives change after making the decision to join Mortgage Pros. Unreasonably high standards, faster closings, elite support, impeccable service. They want the best, and they're willing to train you to become that. So make the call, figure out a little bit more. They'll tell you all about it. They're Mortgage Pros. And then, I don't need to explain these guys to you, because if you're from Detroit, you already know. If you left Detroit, you've seen Detroit-style deep dish come to whatever state you ended up in. They've been doing it for 80 years. Of course, we're talking about the original Buddy's Pizza. That original spot still over on Continent still stands, and there's locations all over the great state of Michigan. If you want to check them out more, you can head on over to buddyspizza.com. They've got a diverse menu. They've got pizza. They got wings. They got salads. They got pasta. And the meatballs with the pasta, oh my goodness, they are absolutely fire. But you know we're here to save you some money, guys. When you head on over to buddyspizza.com, you're going to put in that coupon code, that WWS26, stands for Woodward Sports 26. Real easy to remember when you get there. That's going to get you $10 off of your $50 order. So head on over to buddyspizza.com tonight.
It was interesting having Jason Razniak on the show, man. Good to see you guys, man, and welcome back to the Braylon Edwards Show. Like, first time I played golf with him, like, his energy was kind of like all over the place. And, you know, when you first meet people, you're trying to like figure out who they are and where they're at. But once he's settled down and you get through all the conversation, man, like, he actually is a really good guy, cares about the kids. And it's actually how I met him. I met him at a Kid Again outing in Ann Arbor 4 years ago, which we also did again this year at Kid Again. So shout out to him. Always trying to think about the kids and always looking out for the community. So appreciate him, and check it out. I mean, at the end of the day, he said it's $10. It's not that expensive. Look, get tickets online so you get a chance. So you give yourself a chance to get a Pokemon card, get one of Prism's cards, or one of the card packs. Take your time.
I love free stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to pay to get into anything nowadays. You're going to pay, 3 times that to get into a darn movie. It really sounds like a great event. I actually had a couple people send me the stuff about that last week, and then Joey told us that we were going to have him on, so it was pretty cool, and then both of us know him. But I love those kind of events, man. I had so much fun at the last one. I'm going to try and get out there this weekend.
All right, look, let's try to cram some content and some conversation
football
before, as we wait for our next guest. Justin, 2 individuals have tried out now for the Detroit Lions at 2 key positions, man. How would you fill us in on that? And we'll go around and see what we think.
Well, the first one is a running back who has made a Pro Bowl and has been very effective in this league for a very long time, and that is Kareem Hunt, who they brought in for a workout today on the heels of Blackshear being hurt. And I think this is an interesting thing. You know, he's a guy who has the pedigree in this league that you know what you're going to get with him. He could be just as serviceable as a backup as Pacheco. Very similar styles as well, where they're going in there for short yardage. He's got a little bit more of a receiving.
Former teammates too.
Yes, former teammates. He's got a little more receiving background. I think that when we're talking about having a serviceable running back in the room, I think that this is as good as one you could have in terms of if Pacheco is going to be hurt. I like having Kareem Hunt behind him, even though I don't agree with the off the field stuff, which is surprises me that we're even talking to him and even working him out because of what this Detroit Lions organization believes about the players and the character that is in the locker room.
Yeah, what you said is absolutely correct. It's exactly where I was going to go with the case. I'm glad you got there. You look at the Detroit Lions, they try to do everything by the book. They want their guys to be choir boys to a certain extent. The only one that they'll let get away with is who. This is what they typically do. Them bringing Kareem Hunt in at a time like now lets me know that I don't think they fully prepared for that moment that David Montgomery walked out of the door. And we can say that it's Isaiah Pacheco and he's hurt right now. The problem is Isaiah Pacheco is always hurt right now. And that's how I feel about him in terms of signing him. So this is a situation that the Lions are trying to get out from under, because right now that backup running back situation, it's a question mark. And you have not had a question mark as it relates to backup running back for 4 years. And now here you are trying to figure it out. Kareem Hunt, 611 yards last year, 8 touchdowns. He finds ways to get in the end zone, especially when you get him into the red zone. So if you're looking for him to be a bigger back, get through some tackles, things of that nature, you saw what it was last year. At this point, sure. I would be much more happy with Kareem Hunt than some of the guys right now that we're trying to use as backups. But it lets you know they feel as though they're in a not desperate spot, but ish.
Pacheco's the one signing that flies in the face of everything they did this offseason. Because in the past, Manuel Mosley, Marcus Davenport, all these oft-injured guys that they expected to recapture their form, it blew up in their face. And they like to do it even with draft picks. This offseason, they went for availability and durability and just professionalism, whether it was
the draft. Yeah, you're right.
And that's what they did. With Pacheco, this is a guy that's been largely unhealthy for 2 years. Can he recapture his
form?
Was
it a name thing? Not to cut you off. Was it a name thing? Was it like, okay,
I think it was a fit thing.
We got rid of David Montgomery. The fan base is a little in an uproar, pun intended. Now we get Isaiah Pacheco, a guy they know, a guy that's won some Super Bowls, like a guy that's, and we can pawn it off as, well, he ain't going to be getting the ball that much no way after we pay Jameer. Is it that?
No, because you can't sell the fan base on that because it was a 1-2 punch. And they talk about their desire for a 1-2 punch all the way up until Monty left town. Isaiah Pacheco was not an inspiring signing to anybody in the fan base. The only thing that we liked about it was the cost.
The Tasmanian Devil is here. I heard a bunch of people say that.
Well, yes, your layman fan's going to be excited about a guy that they saw play on a Super Bowl Sunday. Sure, Isaiah Pacheco, he's got a memorable name. The fact of the matter is he had one good season in the NFL, and he's been injured for the last 2. That flies in the face of how they spent their money and capital this offseason. They got guys that play. They don't miss games, that are professional, either in the college or pro level. This is not that. So now, like you said, maybe they got caught with their pants down a little bit with the Monty move. They obviously made the trade. They knew they had to do something, and they went bargain basement with Pacheco. There were so many other names. And now you've got a guy, and I told you guys last week and the week before, this Pacheco thing's going to be a problem. And here it is. They're working out a whole bunch of people. You bring on Travion this last week. Williams.
Yeah.
Looks all right, but I mean, the guy's a constant journeyman. There's a name that Justin said that really is my guy, but you brought it up. I'm going to let you talk about it. You got me excited. I did not know that he was available.
We've been all over him, all right?
Yes, sir.
There's neither of us are staking true claim to him, but someone who got, I believe, I don't know if it was waived or released. It was 2 days ago, was Trey Benson coming off of it was an Achilles, correct?
Some sort of lower body
It was
injury.
Achilles or torn ACL.
Something like
not
that.
good, but he is a year removed. So that is a concern. However, I mean, we want to talk about upside. You want to talk about RB2 upside. You want to talk about perfect complement to Jahmyr Gibbs. Trey Benson runs behind his pads. He is quick, and I really think that he was sold short in Arizona because when he was starting to get carries, he would look great, got hurt, and then when they kind of like, all right, we give up on the season. We're not going to bring him back towards the end of the year, even though he's healthy enough. So it would be interesting to bring him in. I think that's a guy, you looked at Braxshire and Sailors. This guy is easily more talented than both of them. And so when we're looking at trying to fill out this backfield in terms of getting some depth, if we're not sold on Pacheco, Kareem Hunt and then Trey Benson are two great places to start in terms of a running back market that has been pretty scarce over this offseason period since the end of free agency. And now you're just now starting to see movement on some of these guys that could have some upside in being in RB2 in the NFL.
I feel like every time we have these conversations on this show within the last 3-4 weeks and we talk about a position, whether it's linebacker, they got to have some linebackers. I don't know if I'm comfortable with Michael Rodriguez as well as Derek Barnes. What happened? Here comes Devin White after an injury. And then we talked about running backs last week. I talked about Sailors. I said, Sailors your guy? I said, I don't trust Blackshear. I don't know if I trust Sailors. You're talking about having him as the number 2 running back for the Detroit Lions, and here we are yet again. Now we're interviewing more and more individuals. Trey Benson or Kareem Hunt, B-Lad?
I would go Trey Benson just due to his age. And I know Kareem Hunt was serviceable, as far as his carries went in Kansas City in the last couple of years. I know his production isn't anything like how it was at the beginning of his career. But Trey Benson, I was high on at least when he came into the league, going to Arizona. I know he was dealing with injuries as well because his last injury was catastrophic. It was a lower body injury, which is always not good especially for a running back. Was it meniscus?
Meniscus. And that was week 4. And strangely enough, they did not bring him back for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You kind of expected that. I know that we got our guest coming in here, so I want to wrap this up a little bit quickly. You may not know Trey Benson's name, a lot of you at home. And the fact is Trey Benson, with that flare-up, didn't come back one reason only. Jeremiah Love is your number 1. Tyler Allgeier, a guy that you got who was a 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie, is your 2 that you just signed. And then you got James Conner, who's the vet back, the leader that you guys have had for a long time out there. He's not going anywhere. Should have probably have retired, but that's your 3 right there. Trey Benson is the best running back on the market, Justin.
Yeah, I think so. And even though as a pass protector, like that would be Kareem Hunt for sure. Like that's a guy who is known for that in the league. They brought him into Kansas City the last time to fill that role. So I do think that's something that does appeal me about Kareem Hunt. But when we're looking at true like RB2 taking carries away from Gibbs, that's where I think that Trey Benson, and also you might get more than just a year out of him. I think Kareem Hunt's a year guy. You bring in Trey Benson, maybe he sticks around and becomes that new Monty. And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Monty is. I'm not saying that. But in terms of being a very quality RB2 in the NFL, I think Trey Benson would have the potential to challenge Isaiah Pacheco, even if he came back for some carries. And I think Kareem Hunt could too. I mean, he did it when he was in Kansas City last year. I think these are 2 guys that make it, push Pacheco, and you either get the best out of Pacheco or you have one of these guys fill in. And I think that you need that type of flexibility when you look at this running back room and Pacheco's running back history, because what happens if mid-game Pacheco goes down and you need to complement Gibbs and you still have a Trey Benson or a Kareem Hunt on the roster. I think that's a lot better situation to be in than having to give carries to Sailors or Vaki, because I think like Vaki's a special teamer. I think we're there at this point. I don't think that he's ever going to see carries in this backfield, but I do think that having a quality RB3 that you can actually give carries to and trust is a big deal, because when you look at the injury history of Pacheco, I think that's concerning.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt is only an odd pick for me because of the culture. And I know it's been some years since he had his issue, but you haven't seen the Lions bring anybody like that in. I'll be honest with you. I'd waive everybody and sign Kareem Hunt and get Trey Benson in this backfield. I'd love that trio.
Take both.
Kareem Hunt and the running back position aren't the only ones that interviewed for the Detroit Lions over the past 2 days. Justin, there was another position that the Lions brought in somebody at, one of specific need, if you ask me.
Yeah, they brought in a center. I'm pulling up who it is right now, so give me 1 second.
The Lions bringing in the center. As you do that, B-Lad, just lets me know the Lions aren't comfortable going into game 1.
Gus Hartwig.
Seth McLaughlin, as well as Juice Scruggs.
Gus Hartwig? Tell me he's a fullback.
No, O-lineman Gus Hartwig.
Oh,
He was signed an hour ago.
And he is a center. Or is he just an offensive lineman that floats? He's a guard / center.
Offensive lineman. When the Lions tweet about it, I'm going to get the actual position off of his player profile.
Yeah. I don't know if they're bringing in any guards at this particular point that aren't necessarily starters right away.
He's a center.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if they're bringing in a guy, it's got to be for the center position on the heels of Juice Scruggs and Seth McLaughlin and their rivalry right now, or their competition, if you will.
You've been talking about that, Braylon. Me and you both said it.
Yeah.
We think that they're starting interior O-lineman of choice, you name it, guard or tackle, is on a different team right now, or he is about to get waived, or we
guard or center,
interior O-line, guard or center. But in this case, it's a center. He was on a different team. We picked him up and signed him. We could tell that there was just a lack of confidence from the front office and obviously the coaching staff about what they had going on out there.
He let up no sacks in his entire career at Purdue, where he started every single game of every single season except his freshman year, and then missed 3 games in his 4 or 5 year seasons. So, I mean, he has a little bit of pedigree there. Playing in the Big Ten, I'm assuming with no one around him very skillfully playing for Purdue. I think that this is a guy, who they obviously think can challenge Seth McLaughlin because he's the same age.
But once again, it's him. See, this is what I don't like this position. I don't like the position Lions are in with the offensive line. And I understand when Panay comes back at left tackle, it's going to look a little bit better. He ain't playing all 5 positions. Now that you have K. Mays, the guy that you went out and got in the offseason, you gave a little bit of money to, he's out for the foreseeable future. Now you're playing games with, is it Seth McLaughlin? Is it Juice Scruggs? Is it this guy Gus? My thing is the offensive line is something that you knew going into the offseason that you were going to have to get better at. You knew what the offensive line was last year. It was unacceptable. It did not cut it. Hell, to be honest, in 2024, when the line was good, it didn't cut it for how we did in the playoffs against the Washington Commanders. So we had the good offensive line, and it wasn't good enough for the offense for Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Here you are 2 seasons in a row. We trying to figure the offensive line position out. Now, it sucks that K. Mays got hurt. Like, that happens. But you didn't know what the left guard was going to be this year.
True.
We got a right guard, we got a center that we hope is good, and then we don't know what the left guard position is. Why is it the Lions are in this space with the offensive line? Why isn't you won't get a guy that you know can play left guard? Why won't you spend a little bit of money to get that guy? Why won't you spend a little bit more?
Because you're spending all your money on your superstar offensive players.
I don't want to bring it. Not trying to go to the Chicago Bears because I know everyone hates when their name comes up. But Chicago Bears last year, they knew the offensive line had to be better. They went out and got stars. They went out and got starters.
And Caleb was on his ass all year. The year before, they had to.
Even in this offseason, they went out. They replaced 2 more with more first-team starters, Pro Bowlers, guys can play that position. This isn't a position where you're like, all right, we can just get a couple guys, and if you got Panay and you need dogs at the offensive line position. I just don't like the feel of where we are right now, and especially, man, it's not fair. K. Mays did get hurt. But I don't know if I was necessarily overly confident when he was a starter.
Yeah, it's like it kind of dismantled itself. Like I remember when we got rid of Jonah Jackson.
Who's also another Pro Bowler.
Right now.
Who the Chicago Bears picked up.
I would take Jonah Jackson in a damn heartbeat right now over what we have at guard. Like it literally felt like it started at that, and then obviously Ragnow retiring. We just haven't recovered from all of that stuff yet.
Hey, Jonah, you want some money? Get out of here. Hey, Frank, you want a little bit more money? Get out of here.
Yeah, Taylor.
Not Frank, but Kevin. Zeitler.
Taylor Decker. Nope, see ya.
Taylor was old. Like I don't have a problem with.
He was injured too much.
I don't have a problem with the Taylor Decker conversation, if you will, because he was a little bit older, and you saw the left side of the line break down last year. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that one. Excuse me, I don't have a problem with that one. But the other ones, not putting money in that space, Lions. Come on, that offensive line. We knew going into this year.
That was our identity, man.
We knew it going into this year, so I think the intention hasn't been intentional enough as it relates to replacing offensive linemen. I do like Tate Ratledge. That's why his name hasn't come up. That's why the right guard position hasn't come up. I see what they did there. I see what they're building there. I like that one. We'll yet to see what where Blake Miller is at the right time.
I think they have 3 long-term pieces, but Obviously, we have no idea who's going to shake out at center, and you have hopes for a sixth-round draft pick at your left guard. So there's that gap we talk about between the left guard and the center. It's going to be a problem all year long. The biggest problem, though, is the money that you knew you were going to give to Jahmyr Gibbs, the money that you've already given to your offense. You just have drafted such great offensive players that you can't get away from paying them. But you got to protect them. There's only so much money, though, Bray.
You better find a way. You better find a way. Find a way. All right, we'll take a gap and commercial break right now. I'll tell you a little bit about Icon Auto Collision and Repair. If you've been in an accident or your vehicle needs repairs, make sure you trust the team at Icon Auto Repair Collision like we do. We trust the icons around here. If you don't believe me, number 25 for the Detroit Red Wings, Darren McCarty. Those are the icons that we trust around here, man. With 3 convenient metropolitan Detroit locations, Madison Heights, Shelby Township, and Pontiac, where you can go check out Razzmania this coming weekend, if you will. Check out, rock with them. They're the one-stop shop. They want to make sure your experience is a great experience, and they want to take care of you. You've already gotten a car crash. You've already gotten into a wreck. You already got into a collision. The next part of that process should be easy, and that's what Icon does. So trust the Icon that we do.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
It is Joey with Woodward Sports, and in 2017, I trusted Dr. Yelda with my eyes, and it was the best decision I've ever made. No more glasses or contacts, just clear vision every single day.
Hi, I'm Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. If I had LASIK back in the day, I probably would have won 8 Stanley Cups. So if you're thinking about LASIK, do it now. Tell them, Doc.
Come see me. You have nothing to lose. It's a free consultation.
For a limited time, LASIK only $19.99 per eye. Call Yeldo Eye Center. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you. But please don't wait like I did. Call them now.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Jakes, 80 TVs, wall to wall. This is that time of year. It's football season. This is where you want to be. It is Art and Jakes. You can follow them on the A&J mobile app, as you see right there. Scan that QR code, and or let me tell you about that menu. The menu is fire, not just your typical bar food. Am I right, Anson?
That's so good.
What makes it so good?
Well, you know I love that meatloaf, but honestly,
I knew he was gonna say
it's a big menu and it's all amazing.
1,000%. And then the vibes are right, the people are right, the service is good, and 22 beers on tap. If that's not enough to get you there, I don't know what is. It's football season, ladies and gentlemen. Pull up on Art and Jakes. And we are...
Well, Supreme Lending, pull up on them as well because it's home buying season. You may as well give them a call early in your process. Chris, Chad, and Christine are all standing by, waiting for your call. They want to walk you through the process and get you in the best form so that at closing you get the best loan program possible. 0% down payment is available, and we'll save you up to $500 off of your home appraisal just by mentioning Woodward Sports. Don't wait. Call early. Don't wait till closing. Get on the horn with Supreme Lending today.
And we are back. Still waiting for that second guest. That's what I'm trying to figure out how we want to dictate the show. 2 things. 1, what's the super chats and what's the conversation looking like? Catch us up there. And then Justin, me and you, wide receiver ranks and or roster moves.
I'm getting some love from the chat, some hate from the chat. Not a whole lot of super chats. Somebody says that Anson, my dad loved all the guys Anson hated. I don't know what that means. Dante151 says Maz still wants Bubbles the Lion.
Is that a backhanded way of saying your dad hates you?
I don't hope not.
With that, your dad likes all the people that hate you?
His dad loves all the people that I hate, which I try not to use that four-letter word.
Same.
Ben Burns, $5 super chat. Y'all look nice today. You're the best show on YouTube.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. Shout out to you. Blessings.
And number 3 today, Bray should be in the Hall of Fame.
I appreciate that so much.
Now let me get that jersey, he said.
Appreciate that.
Shout out, Ben.
So much. Speaking of best, just throw the wide receiver one up there. We'll kill time with that one if that makes sense. Articles come out about wide receivers. They come out about quarterback ranks every single freaking season. I just at what point? At what point does it change? It's not going to change, but here's yet another list, top 10 NFL wide receivers of all time. Now, this isn't my list. This is the list from the article, if you will, per FanDuel.
Ooh, they got a couple white boys on there.
Yep, you can throw them right up off that list. But
shout out. Don
Hudson is the Green Bay Packer elite, the Green Bay Packer legend, Steve Largent, drafted by the Houston Oilers, played for the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
draft day trade or what?
Yep.
Wow.
Jerry Rice always should be. Let me see. What do you think of this list? Because I got mine coming. I got 12 guys. You know, I always have to have an extra one or two. What do you think about the list?
I mean, it's that list, like you said. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
This is a
I
list.
want to know, like, who's playing today because you said this list doesn't change. Julio Jones, pretty new addition.
People have been trying to clamor for Julio Jones.
Nobody else is new addition
I'm
out
all
there,
in on
though.
Julio.
Yeah, people have been clamoring for Julio probably about the last, probably since the Super Bowl catch, but realistically about the last 4 or 5 years. I think this 5 and 6 usually are the same.
Poor Chris Carter.
Well, he's higher on mine, but like that 5, 6, 7 is typically the same. Then you start getting your Isaac Bruce's a pop up there, if you will. But
if only Kelvin
mine's
Johnson had
different.
Brady throwing him the ball.
Mine's is a little bit different. I think mine's will actually might piss some people off in the city.
Do it.
Here we go. Throw mine's up there if you. This is the Be Easy top 12, if you will. Now, Julio Jones probably could go higher, but I'm going to stick with mine, stick with my gun. We could argue at some point. Julio Jones and Devontae Adams just sitting outside. Julio is tremendous as it relates to 20-20, but somehow when he got in the red zone, they never put the ball in his hands. Not his fault, but they didn't do it. Devontae Adams is a touchdown machine, and he has been my favorite wide receiver probably since Randy retired. This was my next favorite wide receiver.
No Azahir Hakim?
Absolutely not Oz Hakim. 10 for me, Isaac Bruce, underrated, underweighted wide receiver, ran all the routes, had great hands, and if you don't believe me, look at what he did in Super Bowl with Kurt Warner, St. Louis Rams, 151 yards, a touchdown that actually broke the game open. Torrey Holt. I like Torrey more than Isaac Bruce.
Wow.
I am a Torrey Holt fan. He is a friend of mine. Maybe I'm biased. It says what it says. But go look at his stats. For all of you that think I'm just biased, go ahead and look at how many times he put up 1,500 or more yards, even having a 1,700-yard season, also having 70 or 80 touchdowns, if you will. Did it on multiple teams. I love Torrey Holt. Michael Irvin, not necessarily one of my favorite wide receivers. When I was younger, I thought he was overrated, if you will, but he's a dog. He was a dog at the U. He made plays in 47, and when the Cowboys needed him to, he made plays in 88, most notably. I know, I get it, Sweet Potato Cam, but most notably, the play on the 2-yard line against the Buffalo Bills, caught it, spent, got in the end zone. Marvin Harrison, another underrated wide receiver, but he was legit. 140 career touchdowns, man. He just knew where to be. Him and Peyton, they had that thing locked up, man, that fluidity of them and the rhythm. But ran great routes, had strong hands, did it all like Marvin Harrison, 1,000%. Chris Carter for me is 6. Greatest hands in NFL history. Greatest hands in NFL history. I say it twice, because Larry Fitzgerald's the number 2, and he says Chris Carter still has the best hands, so that's good enough for me. Chris Carter, also, year 15 with the Miami Dolphins, still had 1,000 yards. So a guy just knew how to play the game. Calvin Johnson for me is 5. Now hear me out. Like in the system, it's not about the freaky talent. It's not about all that. Calvin has all that. He is arguably the greatest prototypical wide receiver in NFL history. Him and Josh Gordon, Flash Gordon, those two, prototypical, freakiest wide receivers of all time. Not any argument out of me. Making plays, not any argument about speed, running routes, etc.
Flash Gordon, man.
But not long enough.
Yeah.
Not long enough. 10 years. It's almost the kind of same conversation that you have with Sterling Shepard. Although Sterling never had 1,900 yards and only played 8 seasons, it's a similar Sterling Sharp. Thank you so much. It's a similar argument. Terrell Owens, third all-time in receiving touchdowns. Terrell Owens was my guy when I was younger. Played against him, met him, not necessarily my guy in real life, but he was a legit monster. You give him an opportunity, he will make a play. Wants to make the play at the biggest time. If you don't believe me, breaks his ankle during the year, has surgery, comes back, can't even plant on his right foot, still had 130 yards in that Super Bowl. And if somebody, i.e. his quarterback, would have shown up that day, I don't know if Tom Brady has 7 rings. I think he has 6. T.O. was him and should have been first ballot Hall of Famer. But when people don't like you, they push you down the line. Larry Fitzgerald, to me, is 3. I think he's the greatest tracker of the football in NFL history. I think the things that he was able to do, I saw it in college, watched him at Pitt, saw him in the NFL, did this with a laundry list of quarterbacks, Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner, and a bunch of guys in between that you don't even know who they were. He was consistent, and he made plays. Something that he did special that people don't talk about, that Super Bowl run, the underrated Super Bowl, the Steelers and the Cardinals, if you will. Larry Fitzgerald threw that run. You ready for this? 30 catches, 546 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 28 first downs. The man wanted to win the chip. Name me somebody else that played on that offense for the Arizona Cardinals that year.
Anquan Bolden played for the
Cardinals? That was Anquan's last year.
Attaboy, Riley.
Wow, what a pull.
Exactly. Larry was out there balling, wanted this. And if you don't believe me,
John Brown.
He was a rookie. He was a rookie his second year. Check that out. You look at what he was able to do in that run. He was winning games, man. He was winning games. 3 touchdowns in the NFC Championship against the Eagles. That was fire. And then in the Super Bowl, 160 yards, including what many thought was the game-winning touchdown, the 77-yard slant. But here comes Santonio Holmes with about 10 seconds left. Moss is my favorite receiver of all time, but there will never be a better receiver than Jerry Rice. I mean, you look at the record books, you look at what he does. And for all of those out there calling me a boomer because it's Jerry Rice and you guys have got Jay Jettas and Jamar Chase, top 5, top 6.
They also love LeBron.
Speaking of Jamar Chase.
I'm not going to lie. I agree with you on that.
We got some information about Jamar Chase.
Yes.
What Jamar Chase, we got some information. Those guys will be able to crack this list at some point. Not there yet. Jerry Rice did it in the 80s. He did it in the 90s. He did it in the 2000s as well. Last having 1,000 yards at 40 years old.
Yeah, as it came up on my phone. It was literally the day that we were in the office and we talked about Jerry Rice being the best receiver of all time. Literally, as soon as I got home, I opened up my phone and there's 42-year-old Jerry Rice highlights with him and the Seattle Seahawks. I was like, dang.
Yeah,
he's actually doing them dirty. He's the one-handed catches in the end zone and stuff. I'm like, wow.
Also, too, his 22 touchdowns that were the record before Randy Moss broke them, he did that in the shortened NFL season. Tried 10 games.
Dang.
22 touchdowns in 10 games.
Yeah, what happened to the white guys, dude?
I like them. I like Steve Largent. I told you we got drafted.
Not that much.
I don't have to like somebody to. No. I like them.
I'm messing with you.
I like them. You gotta get them out. I actually think I like Ed McCaffrey.
Like Easy Ed?
I'm an Easy Ed guy. I take Ed McCaffrey over Steve Largent.
Over Prohl too.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Ricky Prohl only had like 2 years, and he had a bunch of years where he was super serviceable. Like Ed McCaffrey had like 5 years, like over 1,100. So,
dang.
Yeah, so
that Jerry Rice stat was crazy.
Jerry Rice is just nuts. What say you about the list, Justin?
I mean, this is something we always have discourse on, and that's, the Calvin Johnson, T.O., Larry Fitz triangle. And, I'll be capered as a homer, or as I am called by Neil and Sean, Al Slapo. But the level of dominance that, I saw out of Calvin Johnson, and I was able to see a little bit of T.O. and a lot of Larry Fitz, they just didn't have that level of dominance that, Calvin Johnson did have. Even though, I have mad respect for both those receivers, I just personally have Calvin Johnson at 3. I used to have him at 1 until I listened to Braylon talk to me the first time, and then Braylon kind of just, throw the NFL knowledge level receiver at me, and I was like, all right, fine. I'll drop him from 1 in my heart to 3 in my head. But he's still, in my opinion, the greatest receiver of all time.
No, and I love Calvin. Like, legitimately, man. I went to the Usher and Chris Brown concert with he and his wife and family. I play his golf outing. I do his camp. I absolutely love Calvin Johnson. I just can't put him ahead of T.O. To your point, you said the dominance. The dominance was there. T.O. dominated for 13, 14, 15 years in the NFL. He dominated every single stop he was at. He dominated in the playoffs. Like, you're talking about a story that I can remember. He wasn't supposed to play in the playoffs that year, played in the Super Bowl on a recently surgical ankle and still went out there and did his things. And then with the Larry Fitzgerald situation, like, he dominated just as much. He just didn't have 1,900 yards in one game. But then again, Cooper Kupp did. So
you've been saying Larry Fitzgerald's name for a long, long time, man.
I almost said.
So who invades this list right now?
Antonio Brown.
Ocho?
You said Ocho Cinco? I like Chad, but he's not in that level.
Those guys are all done. I'm talking about somebody that's playing right now.
Jamar Chase is like,
honestly, Antonio Brown not being on this list is that's.
But where? Like, Antonio Brown is a guy that's not going to get in the NFL.
I don't think I'd have Isaac Bruce on
I'd
this
have
list.
him over probably Julio Jones.
I'd have him at 12 without Isaac Bruce on the list.
I would probably do the same.
Isaac Bruce has 15,000 yards.
I understand.
And he has 100-plus touchdowns. Like, and he won a Super Bowl. And in that Super Bowl, he had 150 yards. A lot of me in what I rank it, it's not how great you were as a one-on-one guy, or I saw you have 360 yards in the game. Yeah, I thought it'd never happen. Well, not never.
Put Herman Moore in that same role, and he has a bigger career.
Then who?
Than Isaac Bruce.
He won't. He's not as fast as Isaac Bruce. He doesn't run good as routes as Isaac Bruce. Put Herman Moore on another team with no Barry Sanders. What are we really looking at?
I prefer crazy AB. Isaac Bruce.
I'm cool with that. Like, if you don't
AB over IB all day.
And if Devontae didn't have the consistency of his career, we're just talking about overall receiver and at their best. Yeah. I would take Antonio Brown over Devontae Adams, but he does not have the stats that Devontae and the consistency that Devontae Adams has, in my opinion.
Like, all right, this is why these conversations, they go the way they do, because they're really two conversations happen simultaneously. When you talk about best of all time, you're talking about Hall of Fame stats. Like, you're talking about who's in the Hall, who changed the game for an elongated period of time, who dealt with adversity, who did all the things, who performed in the playoffs, like who performed when the money was on the line, who performed in the Super Bowl. Like, that plays into the best of all time. Isaac Bruce has a jacket. Torrey Holt should have a jacket. Michael Irvin has a jacket.
Ricky Pro's got 2 rings.
I feel you. I said that plays into it. It wasn't the all-in be-all. So that when I say Isaac Bruce, that's what comes with that.
One name from current NFL that gets into this top 10 list upon retirement. Just one.
If Jamar can stay out of his own way. If Jamar Chase can stay out of his own way.
How much more production do you need out of Amon-Ra St. Brown for him to get on this list?
I need the moments in the playoffs.
Does he need a ring?
You don't necessarily need a ring.
Not as a Lion.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's a guy that's going to play extended career. He's going to have an extended career. You know how he takes care of his body in the offseason. You know where he comes from in terms of his father and how he raised him being a Mr. Universe himself. He's going to play 15 years. He's going to have the stats. He's going to have the numbers. And God willing, he's going to have that ring. So he'll have an opportunity down that line.
All right, last one here. You said you made the Lion faithful mad. If Calvin had a chip, would he move up and where?
If Calvin had he can be 3.
That's fair.
He can be 3.
That's very
if
fair.
Calvin had a ring, he'd go 3.
Yes, sir.
My realistic.
Very fair.
Is that fair?
Hey, man, I'll come back to the wide receiver list with you once a month and have a good time doing it every time, man.
Herman Moore over Isaac Bruce is crazy, by the way. Like, one of the things I love Herman, I know Herman, he's right around the corner, if you will. It's my big brother, my OG. We got a golf outing coming up. We got 2v2 coming up. Shout out with First and Fairway, which we're about to get into now. What is Herman Moore if he's not with Barry Sanders?
Probably 500 more yards, man. Because who else are they going to give the ball to?
I'm thinking, like, with no Barry Sanders, like,
don't be knocking Herman.
I'm not knocking Herman, but when Barry Sanders is your running back, every time the quarterback does this, everybody has to bite on it.
I feel like that team, it was like 5 on Barry, 4 on Herman.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, Johnny Morton. You had Brett Perriman. Brett Perriman was arguably as good as Herman Moore.
That 1 year was pretty fantastic.
Brett Perriman was arguably as good as Herman Moore. I tell you this, if they wouldn't have gave Herman Barry's if they wouldn't have given Herman Barry's balls in the red zone, how many touchdowns would Herman have? Pause. I don't have to say pause, press play. All right, look, that's enough from us. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be talking with Ryan LaFontaine of LaFontaine Automotive, as well as my guy Tim Stein from First and Fairway, and we'll tell you how that all meshes up just nicely. But first, let's get a message in from Justin. Is it Mad Packs?
Yep, it is. Let me tell you about Mad Packs. They have their brand new line of their gummies. They have the Boom Shakalaka Hash Rosin, 200 milligrams of THC, and man, they are awesome. I had them last weekend, and they made my weekend night go smooth as silk. So make sure you tap in. They also have the high-low gummies as well, which are live resin infused, and those are also fantastic because everything that Mad Packs creates is fantastic. They also have their lines of pre-rolls as well. So make sure you tap in at getmadpacks.com. Mad flavor, mad high, Mad Packs.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at deadcityfc.com.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Shout out to the team at the State's Title Agency. We will get to them in a second. Welcome back to the Braylon Edwards Show here on Woodward Sports. Excited to be here. Now, I'm excited to be with a guy who is trying to take my job as it relates to analyst and the personality. He is a dear friend of mine. He is none other than my partner in crime with First and Fairway. He is Tim Stein of LaFontaine Automotive, and he's brought a friend you've also met before, my guy, Paul Jordan.
Indeed. Well, obviously, thanks for having us today, Braylon. I love coming on your show, and I only wish I can be as smooth as you can on that mic. I think I am, but we all know the truth, don't we?
You are. You absolutely.
Right. Well,
it's reps.
I'm trying. It's reps.
It's just like, it's just like selling a car, selling insurance. The more reps you have, the more you're able to smooth and be smooth like you are.
Well, I appreciate that. And really, it's big news today. I'm really excited about this. I got my biggest fan with me, Paul Jordan. Paul Jordan's in charge of 7 of our General Motors stores inside our LaFontaine group. And my biggest fan. He's really brought me under his wing to get First and Fairway together and all put together with LaFontaine. So welcome aboard, Paul, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate you, Braylon, for having us here today.
Every time,
You know how much it means to me. You and I have had this real relationship building over the past several months here. I appreciate it.
It's because you're so much nicer and easier to deal with than this guy.
Yes.
We have our differences. We have our differences.
Get this guy out of here.
100%. Now, this is my 21st year with LaFontaine Automotive Group. Wouldn't work anywhere else. When everybody says I have to go to work on Monday, we say we get to go to work on Monday. It's just different.
Yes, sir.
And the way we tie the golf, First and Fairway, yourself, what you're doing, LaFontaine all together has been really fun to watch over these past several weeks. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I will say this, every time I go to the Highland LaFontaine, which is just an amazing store all the way around, everybody has good energy. And it's not energy in which, this is the Death Star and I better act a certain way because I know what's coming around the corner. Yeah. People genuinely love working at LaFontaine. People genuinely love working and helping and servicing, if you will. So I can see what you see. It comes off authentically.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Excited to be here with you. We've got a couple outings that we've got in the books. We got a couple. We got some content now that we're getting out there. First and Fairway, Woodward Sports. We're together now. Talk about the excitement.
Well, it's really crazy. The momentum is building. We've been shooting for 3-4 weeks now.
We have.
We don't have all the content all completely edited, but it's coming.
Still haven't broke 90, but you know.
No, we had a break in 90 just the other day, and man, I got to tell you, Braylon,
it's an ugly round.
People know I'm very honest with you. I don't say stuff to you just to say it, like a lot of people may. Your game is coming togetger.
I appreciate that.
You know, it looks a lot better. You're slowing that swing down. I mean, I even told you when you made that par in the first hole, I said, not so good. We might only get one episode in.
We were I was 1 over after 3.
Yeah.
It was par, bogey, par. I said, oh, this is going to be the day, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, shout out to Big Show, because you and him had a little match, and both you two were cruising, and then next thing you know, we were in the 90s really fast.
Not fast, but
it got there quick. So.
That's what golf does, though. It keeps us coming back. You make a couple pars, and you think you can do it, so it keeps us coming back.
But more importantly, we have teamed up with Woodward. I just signed our first official contract with Woodward. I'm going to have a segment with you, 100%. My partner.
My dog.
We're going to have a weekly show on here. We're going to bring on some guests. You mentioned the 2v2 with Herman.
I've been talking bad about him. He's not going to play now.
I know he might.
That's what we're talking bad about.
Good. Let's get him a little fired up. We got Jason Hansen and Eddie Murray that agreed to come on the show. We got D-Mac and Joey Kosher with a match. We got a lot of things in the work, plus the charity stuff. One quick thing I just want to go over today. We got the Ally Challenge coming up. We also have another event with the Hurley Trauma Medical Center. We are playing in that event with the channel, and we have purchased 5 raffle tickets. And as we hit our subscribers, once we get to 500, we're going to pick one subscriber for each raffle ticket. It's a $100 ticket that gets a free set of custom-fitted clubs or a trip to TPC Sawgrass for the Players' Championship.
Nice.
So we're going to give away 5 tickets to our subscribers, and they get a 1 in 220 chance of winning that package.
Yeah, and that's a place that I definitely always wanted to go to and check out. So too bad I can't be in there, but for one of you lucky individuals out there, get in right now, get your chance to win. Tim, part of the reason why we're able to do this in terms of First and Fairway, in terms of working with Woodward, in terms of spending all this time, Paul Jordan, you as well, is the relationship and the partnership with LaFontaine, especially it's Ryan LaFontaine. Why don't you take a second, introduce your guy, bring him up here, because the fans and the people, they need a chance to meet a guy that is amazing and great at everything he does.
Yeah, and I really, I get a little emotional because this has been my baby for a long time. We've been working
Ryan?
on this. No, I get emotional because Ryan's really bought into what you and I are doing.
Yeah.
We've been battling, trying to get this rolling for 5 years now, and now it seems like we're there. 3 months into this, we're there with the support of obviously Paul and Max, but Ryan has really bought into what we're doing too, and I really can't thank him enough. So I'd like to bring him on. Paul, thanks for coming on. We'll just do a quick switch out. And Ryan LaFontaine of LaFontaine Auto Group. And Ryan, welcome to the channel. And man, thanks so much for all the support.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Love it.
All right. Glad we have Ryan on. So
Indeed.
I got a chance 3 years ago to play in a golf outing in Shepherd's Hollow, out in Clarkson, and it was the You Can Survive outing.
Oh, yeah.
The You Can Survive outing actually is an outing and a charity started by Ryan himself, who in 2008 was diagnosed with cancer. What particular cancer was it?
Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Hodgkin's lymphoma. Was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, but as opposed to say, woe is me, he decided to do something about it. He beat it, he survived it, and then he started the charity so other people will get inspired to beat it. F cancer, as we always say. That in itself, and getting a chance to meet him and seeing what he was all about, it was so much more than selling cars. It was so much more than LaFontaine. You're just driven. You're driven in the community. You're driven in all that you do. So it was great to meet you then. Years later, to be able to now partner up with you, it's a special thing.
Yeah, it's special to us as well, because even you attending that event, right, and just being there, right, you were genuine. You were there, you're just shaking everyone's hands, just enjoying the night, and that night was all about giving back, right? My dad taught me if you're blessed in life, to bless others, right? I was grateful that, no one wants to go through cancer, but when you look at it, I had, the cancer I had an 86% cure rate, right? Yeah. So God was looking out for me, right? And God willing, right? Look, almost 20 years later, cancer free. We need everyone to be able to say that, just like you say, F cancer. Yeah. So you supporting 100%. Us meant a lot to me.
Yeah, your father started Dearborn in 1966. I think he opened up his first dealership, which is Toyota in 80.
Yep, you're
1980.
correct. Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, you got it dialed in. I was just with my
exactly.
dad. We were down in Dearborn at the original store, right? We actually went to Miller's Bar for lunch with the top exec for Toyota, just reminiscing on those days, right? Going through it. You got to think back when we had, when I grew up in this business, I started selling cars at 15. When I got out of college, we only had 2 stores. My mom ran one, my dad ran the other. So what everyone sees today of the 44 dealerships, right? 3,100 employees or family members, it wasn't that way. It was small, right? It was intimate, right? We were obviously a family, and what I'm really grateful to say is, look at all this time later, 3,100 family members, we're still a family fighting for each other.
Another thing that gets you excited, man, it's football season.
Exactly.
Football season is around the corner, and you always know football season starts off with high school football season. This Thursday, we will be together out at Fenton High School, where your sons Landry and Larkin play for Fenton High School. We'll get a chance to speak to the team, pass out some jerseys, and then it's going to be Thursday night lights. Want to say Friday night lights. Thursday, so excited about that. Like, why is high school football so important? Why is Fenton, that community, so important to you?
So it's about, just like you do in life, it's about giving back. It's about iron sharpens iron, right? God put us on this earth to sit here and put our fingerprints on people and lift them up. What's so awesome is to be around those young men and watch them grow, right? And football does that. And I'm blessed to watch my twin boys out there playing their senior year, right? With all, obviously, those guys have been grinding together since they were little, right? And it's just special, right? We grew last year. We actually were able to go to the regional championship game. It kicks off this year on Thursday because first week of school. Otherwise, it's normally Friday night lights. 100%. It was a little weird, but I'll celebrate Thursday night lights.
Thursday night, you got the juice going, man. I'm getting pumped. Maybe you should give the speech.
Hey, I tell you
Maybe
what.
You should.
I think you and I should go in. They want us to play. I'll go and tailback. You go and wide
receiver. I got a couple routes.
Yep.
I think they both can still play. Look at these guys. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but the partnership is going to be great, man. Tell us what we can expect in terms of working with LaFontaine, First and Fairway, man, because what are you expecting and why are you excited about that project?
First, I got to tell you, I actually have already gotten a 90. I just did it in 9 holes, man. So, so from
this is what I love. Honesty on the golf course.
Yeah, I'm honest, man. I beat you. I got there first. But no, it's such a great course or game in that regards. What I love about it is we get to spend time together. I think that's the best thing about golf. Of course, score, right, the courses, but where else can you go and spend intimate time just talking like that, right?
No
and that's what I love about it. I love what you're doing with obviously giving back to the community, involving other people, having fun about it, right? Bringing in different, obviously, athletes or just local people that want to give back to the brand. So when you guys sat down with me and talked about your vision, right, you could feel it. And I think you referenced it earlier about his passion. And you guys poured 5 years in this, right? Just shows you nothing in life comes easy. But if you believe in it and you put everything you have into it, it is blossoming just like it is right now. And look at it, 3 months later, where it's grown to, standing on Woodward, right, and just being able to enjoy this, right? But man, you were talking about Herman. I love Herman, so I can't let you talk about Herman that way.
You know what, man? Ryan gets me every damn time.
Here's a great transition. Then you said it took 5 years. Mm-hmm. Well, Dan Campbell's in year 6, so it's taken 5 years to get to this point. What are you expecting out of the Lions this year, who made some moves in the offseason? They added some depth at key pieces, still a little light in other places. What are you expecting out of this Lions team? Everybody's giving me this, that, and the third. What's your fourth?
Oh, he's a big fan. I've seen
So
pictures.
when you look at it, all I can tell you is I'm one of the biggest fans.
Yeah.
I'm the one that wears that ring helmet, right? My wife, myself, my kid, we go to the draft, we get all dressed up, and we just cheer them on. What I love is the grit that they have. What I love is the culture, and they protect it no matter what. Yep. I've been blessed to meet a lot of the players, and I tell you, they all want to give back. They all care. They all are good people. When you're talking to them, it's genuine, right? You can tell if someone really wants to be there or they're just there for, check a box.
Yeah.
Like when you're engaging in conversation with them, I don't know how these young men are that astute, right? That they have that much depth and self-awareness. So I tell you what, they're selecting the right people, right? And you look at from leadership down. Dan, obviously pouring into it. Brad, obviously pouring into it. Man, I just wish I could be them for a day, right? They obviously see live in their shoes. But man, I'm going to be the super fan, cheering them on. I tell you, we're going to get to Super Bowl one of these years. I just pray it's one of these years coming up. But man, they've built a great team, so I'm going to cheer them on each and every day.
Speaking of that, tell them how, tell the fans how they can support LaFontaine in that team.
Well, that's a great question. Obviously, we're pride upon the family deal. So if you go to familydeal.com, you're going to find everything you need to know about LaFontaine. Now, most of my friends, my customer base, they know how to get in touch with me. I'm very easy to find now. Just go to First and Fairway, leave me a message if you need anything. But on familydeal.com, Paul said it best earlier. They come in happy and they leave happy, and that is really a big change for me as I've joined LaFontaine Group. So we want everybody to get involved. We're going to have our QR code all over the place. We need your help, though. You got to like and subscribe and get involved with us, and we're going to give back to the community. We already are doing it. We're doing charity events. This isn't about Braylon and I going to play golf. This is a much bigger picture with this, and charity is a big part of it. Sometimes. Now, everybody knows me. I'm a golfer. I mean, I live on a golf course since I've been 24. So.
How's your injury?
I am officially a host again for a while, so I'll be hosting the channel and watching you play golf while I commentate. And yeah, I can't wait. But I'll be fine. Doesn't matter. Right. We just keep hobbling along.
Here, man. When the doctor says sit down, ladies and gentlemen, you sit down. That's what we do. Ryan, it's been great to have you on the show, as well as Tim, as well as Matt.
Thank you, Braylon.
And Paul. Good to see you guys in studio, man. I'm just so happy for what the future holds for us. Thank you for trusting in what we're doing First and Fairway with my guy Tim Stein. And I know he gets on your nerves from time to time, but if you need me, I got a headlock.
Well, he gets on my nerves.
Just let me know.
We'll just hang. We'll leave him the side.
That's what car salesmen do. We get on people's nerves.
1,000% look.
Thanks,
we
Ryan.
appreciate you for listening to that, man. Look, and once again, LaFontaine is great, and First and Fairway LaFontaine together.
Let's
with
go,
Woodward
baby.
Sports is a match made in heaven. Quick commercial break. Let's get a message in from Sweet Potato Cam as it relates to Thrive, because it is not your daddy's dip.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best Sweet Potato Cam impression here. It is time to upgrade your game with Thrive Energy Pouches. But this ain't yo daddy's dip. It's tobacco-free, nicotine-free, mental powerhouse packing 300 milligrams of clean, smart caffeine and other vitamins. No jitters, no sugar crash, and absolutely zero bloating. Thrive can be found at dipstop.com. Remember to use promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order. All exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations as well. Thrive Clean Energy, zero distractions, and they just flip and work, y'all.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. One's great. Two, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at DebtCityFC.com.
Hey guys, Anson here to tell you all about our friends over at Loom. They've got 40 locations statewide here in Michigan, and we want to save you 30% off of your next order, and they want to hook you up for your first 3 orders with some free stuff. That QR code is going to take you right to their website and put that code in, but if you head there on your own to loom.com, enter in that WSN30, and it's going to do exactly that. It's going to save you 30% off your entire order. I love that spot in Berkeley off of Woodward on 12 Mile, but all of their locations are very welcoming, very clean, with an awesome, kind, and knowledgeable staff. But man, let's talk about their product for a second. It doesn't matter whether you're after flour, whether you're after carts, whatever it is that you want, they have it, and they've got the best selection around as well. But let's take a second and talk about their Buzzin' Energy drink. If you watched any of our stuff over the last couple summers, you see one of these in one of our guys' hands at all times. It's amazing, clean energy, all hang, no hangover, 7.5 milligrams of THC plus and 100 milligrams of caffeine, guys. We're going to go ahead and bring it back here to the desk, though, but make sure you check out Loom when you can. Hey guys, welcome back here. Braylon is saying goodbye to his guests, and we'll get him back in here in a minute. I do want to give a huge shout out to Riley, our intern, who's been working really hard on this prize wheel. How many entries you think we got, guys?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's been a lot of super chats, and plus with the doubling up and stuff like that too, I'm gonna go with 170.
Man, big whiff. So many more. 5 114 entries into this wheel to take home the jersey of Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs. It is autographed. Braylon hooked it up on this one, and as soon as he gets back in here, we will go ahead and get that out to you guys. You got some Woodward wings coming up today, don't you, bud?
Yes, sir. Make sure you tap in a little while. Some Woodward wings at 4:15. We got some new news about Dylan Larkin as always, and also I went downtown today for Hillary Knight's initial press conference, the first time she's talked to Detroit media, so that was cool as well. So I'll have first-hand stories from that as well, so make sure you tap in.
There you go, guys. Listen, we got plenty more Lions to talk about. Are we going to get into college football?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of Lions still to talk about.
We still do have a lot of Lions.
Doing interviews for like the last.
A lot of interviews today. We appreciate
Great.
you guys sticking with us. Let's go ahead and head over into the chat. Get your super chats in, guys. Smash that like button, and then right next to it is that share tab. Click on that, copy the link, and go ahead and get it out to your fantasy leagues, get it out to your group chat, your work chat, whatever. Listen, a little bit of stuff going on in the chat here, and we won't talk about that. Well, I don't know where to go because it's all drama in the chat here. Quick Slants, let's go ahead and get that started, buddy.
Yeah, baby.
What do you got first on tap?
Are you guys ready for Quick Slants? First thing I have on tap is kind of a scary situation. I sent the video into the Slack, I believe, but Ja'Marr Chase he looked like he tweaked his knee on a one-on-one rep in practice today. Yes, I did send it. And he limped gingerly off the field. Didn't look to be anything too crazy. But I know a lot of people who are like we were just doing today that are starting up the fantasy football talks. Is it still too early of a time, or is this something that we should just kind of look over? Because we had the whole Ashton Genty scare. It was supposed to be an ACL. People were rooming it to be an ACL, and then it was just a sprained ankle. Now Ja'Marr Chase in practice and a team rep gets hurt. I think this is just a terrible time for these weird type of injuries because we're so close to the season. I've always had coaches my entire life say, if you're, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured. This looks like they're just hurt. Like, this doesn't look like it's anything crazy. I saw everyone on the social media, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, talking about, this is why we don't draft yada fantasy and this and that. It's such a big deal. And even the Sam Laporta stuff, I personally didn't really like some of the stuff that Detroit media was putting out about Sam Laporta. Came back to practice today. They just take extra extensive care of these guys because of how important they are to their team. It's nothing to get absolutely crazy, but I will say, if it were Jared Goff, I guarantee it would be a lot different. Everyone would be kind of puckering up a little bit. It would be a lot scarier. But in this sort of situation, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Another one that I have, quick rapid fire. Keyshawn Boot actually just got traded.
Booty.
Oh yeah, got traded to the Houston Texans. Obviously, they lost Jaden Higgins not too long ago to a torn ACL, which. I actually liked him quite a bit.
I like Higgins' profile
a
lot.
He was very solid. He was definitely a young, promising rookie receiver going into his second season this year with very high upside. But the Texans saw, because they played the Patriots last year, and Booty actually did do very well against them. And I feel like they got a good bargain deal on him. And it was actually funny. Yesterday, someone broke the news in the chat, but instead of typing Jalen Reed, they typed Jaden Reed. And I thought they traded Keyshawn Booty to the Packers, and then the Patriots got Jaden Reed back in return. I'm like, what in the world? So I was scrambling on my phone looking for it. It was actually Jalen Reed, the safety on Houston Texans, which Houston is a very deep defense, very solid defense. Like they have arguably top 3 defense in today's NFL, in my opinion. So, I mean, a defensive player that's definitely young in that defense would be a plus a draft pick. But, I mean, getting rid of Booty, they have A.J. Brown now. Kind of struggling to find a role for him in that regard. The Big Ten, did you guys see what they did? They actually are now blocking. They are blocking players who have played in the NFL, whether you're drafted, undrafted, whatever league you came up through to play in the NFL. If you have played in the NFL you cannot go back and play in the Big Ten.
If you're even drafted.
If it doesn't matter what it is.
Drafted, sign a contract, all of that, you're done.
You're done. As soon as you start your pro day in your preparation that you are declared for the NFL, that is now on record that you cannot go back and play in the Big Ten. But guys like Lane Kiffin, for example, he's just out here trying to win. He's trying to ring chase. He's like, I don't care. If there's going to be no rule against this, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Everyone come to LSU. I'm going to make as many roster spots as possible for you guys. But the Big Ten, this is the first glance of
like a shot of
reality.
Steroids for LSU.
So let me ask you this. What is the exact specifications of the rule? Does the rule state that you can...
If you take a snap, if you sign a contract, like it literally says if you do anything in the pro space, you are ineligible and you will be deemed ineligible.
You cannot go back and play in the Big Ten. But this is the first guardrail we have.
This is the Big Ten implementing it.
They better hope everybody else does.
So this is what I was gonna say. After talking to Anson, because I'm along the lines of like once you declare, like once you go, like it is what it is. Like just don't declare. Like you can be in college as long as you want to. Is it 7 years? Is it 8 years? Whatever it is, just don't declare. Once you declare, it's over. For me, it would be this is my extension, Anson. For you, this is my compromise for you. My compromise is until you play on an NFL roster in a preseason game, I think you could have the option of going back, and it wouldn't necessarily irk me because I understand what 2026 is. Like this would have irked me 3, 4, 5 years ago. It wouldn't irk me as long as you haven't played in a preseason game. As long as you haven't been on a roster for a preseason game. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I have the full thing here from Pete Thamel. And it says anyone who was declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But if I'm the SEC, why would I?
You wouldn't.
Enforce this rule. Like you have a competitive advantage back
100%.
on the Big Ten.
100%.
And now, you're looking at LSU. I can tell you from being invested in college football, this has risen my stock on LSU multiple spots. Like you're adding 2 NFL players, like 2 guys.
100%.
One of them should have been drafted into the NFL. The other one undrafted because there were so many decent tight ends in the draft that the mid ones really didn't get drafted. This is absurd, and now you're going to see teams like LSU and others use this to their advantage and try to level the playing field back on the Big Ten because of the fact that the Big Tens have deeper pockets.
2 things. One,
that is true.
Okay, fair enough. But if you didn't get drafted, are you that good? Like if you didn't get
on the college level, you're very good.
No, realistically, college.
You're one of the 400, 500, 600 best players in college.
Yeah, but college, once they start paying players, college is done a little bit differently though. If you're talking about a tight end that didn't get drafted this particular year in 7 rounds, 279 picks, you didn't get drafted, and now you're supposed to come back to college and be this hellraiser. All of a sudden, now you're that good.
Not a hellraiser, but a contributor for sure.
Daquan Wright was one of the best receiving threats for Ole Miss last year.
IU won it on the back of old men. IU just won the championship with guys like that. These tweener guys that wouldn't have been there. Listen, I thought about this a lot since yesterday. I appreciate you kind of coming back and us talking about it through chat before we got here.
I want to add one caveat to mine.
Please go ahead first.
But the thing I will say is, if I were the Big Ten, I wouldn't do this.
No.
Does that make sense?
Let the NCAA do it.
Yes, I don't agree with it. But
don't be the trendsetter in this.
That part.
Don't be the trendsetter in this.
So to your point, what you're talking about, if we're here, don't be the guys that don't have an opportunity because you want to be first. Wait.
If I'm going to be the trendsetter, Bray, I'm opening it up.
Yeah.
I'm setting a rule to let you in. Yeah. Because now all of a sudden these guys that left the SEC and didn't get the opportunity and maybe went to the wrong camp and there was too many guys ahead of them, they come back, well, I'm not going to the SEC. I'm going to where I'm welcome in the Big Ten. But this is get off my lawn, kids. I'm listening to all these idiots on the radio and all over the place and you got to protect the 72nd man on the college roster. Are you kidding me? The walk-on, I know it's not fair, but life isn't fair. And the fact is that the last guy on a college roster is never getting invited to camp. He probably should be at Hillsdale. He probably should be at a D2 school. And if you're protecting the last guy on a college roster because you don't want a guy that went up to the NFL and wasn't ready to be able to come back, that makes both the NFL and the college better. If you do it the other way and you're protecting the 72nd or however many guys are on these huge college rosters, you are doing a disservice. And furthermore, if you come out, let's say Lawrence Tech, man, and you're in a high-end like tech position, you're like, I'm ready. I'm not going to do my last year of school. And you go and you're going through all the training. You're like, you know what? I want another year of school. I want to fine-tune my stuff before I do it. I didn't like where I got placed. I didn't like the company. I didn't like the city. You get to go back to college. And I'm sorry, but learning football, you're being taught football at the college level. It's no different than teaching English, philosophy, or econ. You should not be penalized as a young, basically child at this point, because again, 22-year-olds have the mentality of 16-year-olds if we're comparing generations. You got to protect these kids. And I just don't think that cutting it off because you had a taste of camp or that somebody mentioned your name at the back end of the 7th round, that your life may be over and you might be a Rough Rider up in Canada.
Two things. Thing one, if somebody is leaving Lawrence Tech after 3 years, they are him. They are.
I'm not talking about football. I'm not talking about football.
I was just being funny.
Oh, okay. They are him in the AC heating and cooling
in
industry.
The biggest version of him or her, like they're him, they're that. On a different note, this is the other side of that equation, though, man. It's not the 72nd guy. Like, it's not a walk-on. Walk-ons don't get scholarships. Those aren't guys that are getting replaced. They're talking about replacing actual scholarship individuals. So
that changes things a little bit.
Fair. So for me, when you talk about an individual where a coach, I mean, I don't know if they're still doing this with NIL. Coach walks into my living room, talks to my parents, tells me that, hey, we're going to bring your son, ma'am, we're going to take care of your son, we'll bring him up here, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they do it anymore. But this is what the conversation is. And then I agree. I say, cool, I'm coming up there. And then you tell me in August, which is a week or two before school starts, and a week or two before the first game.
I like your
and then you
before
tell
the preseason.
Yeah, and then
August 31st. Excuse me, July 31st. Because you've been in camp, you've got OTAs.
Now you tell me that, you know what, hey, we're going to have to take your scholarship because XYZ came from this and this is the situation. So now I've basically done all this for nothing. Now I got to figure out what my next move is.
So let me say this. You don't reward them, but you don't close the door. You want to come back, your agent can pay for it. You can figure it out. You can get a student loan. We're not shutting the door on you, but you made your choice. We're not taking away somebody else that busts their ass all summer long to get on this team and get a scholarship.
I like that.
There's a marriage in between somewhere.
I like that.
31st of July, you got to declare.
You could pay for a year.
Yes, sir. You can take out student loans because you're going to the show, right? That's why you came back to college.
You can find an NIL deal in
You could find an undrafted free agent deal and an NIL deal. There you go, man. I'm telling you.
But to the overall point, I think Justin is absolutely correct, and I think you are as well. I wouldn't be Big Ten. I wouldn't do this first. Like, if there's an opportunity where it helps you, do that. Don't try to be the ones.
Braylon, before we go to our last break, I know we're up against it. Riley's been fighting hard and staying late to put this wheel together. 514 entries. So I don't know if you can scan it up on here.
I'll zoom in. Give me a sec.
I'm going to do this shuffle 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. And here we go, guys. This is for the Jahmyr Gibbs jersey.
I feel like this is gonna be crazy. The anticipation.
Mike Reed.
Oh, Mike Reed.
There he is.
Now one of you.
Congratulations, Mike Reed.
Okay.
The deal is you're going to email me at Anson@woodwardsports.com.
Shout out to Mike Reed.
Wait for you to either come in and get it yourself or we'll get it out to you.
How many people just knew it was going to say Freddie Feld?
I thought it was. I was a little bit worried. I love my guy Freddie, but man. Look, shout out. Here, come take your phone and get the hell out of here, Riley.
Appreciate that, Riley. Appreciate you working on that.
4 shows
Mike
today.
Reed, appreciate you. And thanks to everybody that tapped in. We will have some more things for you. I'm going to bring in some Michigan stuff as well, but also some more autographed memorabilia. We got 8 minutes left in the show. The Lions defensive, the D-line conversation, I did want to get to that. Is it too late, Jay?
What?
The D-line conversation with Dan?
No, we gotta take a break, but yeah.
Yeah, let's do
we
that.
could get to that.
We can do that quick. Let's take a quick commercial break. Get him a word in from Amnesia, and when we come back, talk about that because the defensive line room is growing. There are 17 defensive linemen, whether it's the outside edges or whether they are interior defensive linemen. There's 17 guys. Only 9 to 10 typically make a roster that is a 4-3 star roster. So a lot of guys getting cut. We'll come back with that in 2 seconds.
And you can see the smoke rising because it's amnesia time, baby. The bubble hash, glass tip infused blunt, 1.5 grams. The cherry poppers is the one that's on the screen. Personally, my favorite is the Jack Herrera. So make sure you tap in with amnesia today. They have a new star-studded lineup, adding this to their already, they already had the glass tip infused joint. And obviously the switch, which is my favorite. Three ways to enjoy it of the 2 flavors. So make sure you tap in with amnesia today for their elite lineup. And let me tell you about the Massage Chair House, baby. The largest massage chair showroom in the great state of Michigan. Scan the QR code above my head to tap into Dr. Eric Duncan's Wellness YouTube channel, and he will take you through the premium models like the Infinity and the Osaki. So make sure you tap in with them today. And then lastly, let me tell you about the Royal Jesters. If you want to smoke like royalty, there's no better way than with Gold Crown. 1.5 grams total, coated in keef, live resin infused. And man, let me tell you, if you'd smoked these before one of these games, you'll be analyzing like you are on the sidelines. You'll be so locked in, you won't even realize what is going on in the outside world other than what you are currently watching. So make sure you tap in with the Royal Jesters. 1.5 grams total. Smoke like royalty. GoldCrownExtracts.com today. And back to the desk.
And we are back. Now, here's a little bit of sound from Dan Campbell talking about his defensive line as it relates to the preseason game in the past and in practice.
I don't have it. Give me a second.
No, it's all good. Yeah,
Matt sent a lot of stuff today.
Matt sends a lot.
Kind of drowned me this morning. I can't lie.
That's why I had to text you on the side. I was like, hey, look, love Maz, man. In case you guys didn't catch that, Tom Masway is now working with us here, the Braylon Edwards Show. Maz will be doing some producing for us. Also, he'll be in from time to time once the season starts on Friday. We'll be, Maz likes the pick'em segment. That's like literally his favorite thing to do. So we'll find spaces.
That and helmet logos.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
I don't blame him.
We started this thing 5 years ago. It's good to see him back in some way, shape, fashion, or form. All right, what we got?
Got it for us?
I'm getting it. Sorry.
So basically,
you did listen to it yesterday, though. It's the same one we listened to yesterday.
That's fine. You won't even listen to it. The show's almost over. At the end of the day, Dan Campbell says he likes what he sees. Every time he gets to that podium, he's talking about another defensive lineman. Last week, he was even able to mention Mekhi Wingo, if you will. He's talked about Sunbleach, a.k.a. Skylar Gill Howard. He's talked about DJ Woneman, what he saw in that game out of him. He's talked about Eric O'Neal. He has talked about almost every single one of these defensive linemen that they have brought in. It's only 9 to 10 positions available. Who are you thinking is going to be on the ACT side?
Ooh, on the ACT side?
On the ACT side, man.
I do have the sound. If you do want it before you talk about this, it's up to you.
Sure, why not?
All right.
You like these guys, there's a lot of promise in that D-line room. There's a lot of guys. We played Wanham for just a tick there, and boy, I thought he represented. It was good to see with those other guys, and got him out of there. And then D Moore, that's really, D Moore hadn't had a ton. Really, this last week is what he's gotten in pads. Because he had that injury, that groin injury, but that was good to see. Now I got to watch the tape, and I just know with him, he's another guy's a young guy. The more reps he gets, the better he's going to get. So that was good to see him make plays, and Sunbleach just continues to make plays. He doesn't practice. You can feel him out there, and he just is relentless, and he plays snap the whistle, and he's all out, and he's got to be right. He does, because he's not a huge guy, but he knows who he is, and he knows how he has to play, and he plays with high effort, and he's crafty, man. He's explosive, and he's violent.
I didn't even mention Ahmed Hassanin talking about what he had done. This is Dan. This is him talking about the defensive line. This is him talking about that depth. It's interesting that on the offensive line side, we're talking about what's going to happen, what's going to shake out, how's it going to play. But on the defensive line, there seems to be a lot of contentment and excitement what this young crew can bring to the Lions defense this year.
Yeah, well, I can answer your question on who I think is going to make it there. There's certainly some young names. I think that Skylar Gill Howard is a guy that's really flashed a lot. Obviously, Derek Moore's not going anywhere with his draft capital spent. You know, Mekhi Wingo is a guy that, for me, is really on the bubble right now. He's flashed at times as a later pick, 6th-round pick from last year.
LSU.
And he's a guy, you know, that how do you kick Trevor Nowatzki off the team? This guy isn't great at anything. He's got a very high floor, though, and he just seems to always be around the ball. Obviously understands what K-Shep expects out of him, and just it's kind of a guy that's hard to get away from. Chris Smith and Tyler Lacey are two names that I think some people assume are going to be on this team that might be being outplayed by some of the younger guys. So I think that those two names, along with Nowatzki and Wingo, are really your bubble guys.
Yeah, Lucas, Adams, and West are the names. Talking about Tyree West, Miles Adams, and Anthony Lucas. Those are the names along the lines where I think they got it. Yeah, you hope they show something tough in the third game. Usually the third game, when I played, it was the fourth game. But now that third game, that becomes the one where you got to show it. You got to lay it all out in the line. But before you even get to that third game, it's practice. It's this week in practice. What can you be in this? What can you show before that decision is made?
Those guys are going to get 3/4 of snaps or more.
Well, in the third game they will.
Yeah.
Third game they'll get a lot because that's when the 1s and 2s will be sitting down and they'll be getting ready for.
I hope they keep Nowatzki, and I'd like to see Wingo stay.
This is a healthy problem to have. Yeah. Like, this is a healthy problem to have.
The narrative's totally changed in the last couple of years. I mean, to this date in the year on the calendar, they're still talking about getting another edge because that's all the fans want and all they were talking about. Nobody's screaming for an edge right now. We're talking about the secondary because the defensive line is actually good.
Did you see yesterday, obviously, Detroit Tigers, they lost their 6th straight. Framber Valdez was on the mound. Did you see the stat that came out about Framber Valdez? He had 20, what was it? So much is going on. I was looking at Dolly Parton on the background. I forgot.
Is it as bad as our blown saves?
No. He had no balls hit the bats yesterday. There was no balls that missed the bat. Not one single pitch.
Not swinging strike?
And not one single pitch missed the bat yesterday.
What?
Wow. No swinging strikes is
Holy
a wild stat. Is that, you know that? Can you confirm that one?
20 or 27. Yeah, 20 misses. Yeah, it was 20 misses yesterday. I don't know when was the last time it's happened, but like nothing
was working.
The bat. Nothing missed the bat.
I'm going tonight. Woo!
The bats were glued to the ball, right? So
and we're
stuck with Framber Valdez realistically.
Big time.
Yeah, so
that 32 a clip. 32 a clip.
You talk about all season, you talk about GMs, like that's one.
You want to talk about Framber Valdez?
That's a
we
good
appreciate
one right
you
there.
for that one.
You know what? I am absolutely done with you guys. Anson, you can end the show, man.
And on that one,
Mike Reed.
On behalf of Riley crushing it, Mike Reed winning it, all of you over the last week and a half absolutely smashing it with those super chats.
Reed.
We're going to drive some more of these cool giveaways for you. Shout out to Mr. B-Lad. Cam making us sound good, and of course Justin making us look good. The legend himself does belong in the College Football Hall of Fame, so you all start smashing that on your social medias. Let the world know. My name's Anson, and this is the Braylon Edwards Show.
And watch the Vince Young doc on Netflix.
Homework, guys. You got some homework.
Yes, what I'm saying. We'll see you